Whew. All right, so this one, believe it or not, actually kind of is the one that brings me out of retirement. Shout out to John Zerka, Rollo Tomasi, and what you see right here with Michael Sartain. I saw this debate about them doing the whether or not the Earth is round or flat, and this awoke something in me because I remember when I was in college, I actually stumbled upon in around 2017 this wave of people that were starting to believe in the flat Earth concept, aka the firmament mentioned in the book of Genesis. And I wrestled with that thought a lot. Like, is it real? Is it not? It is absolutely worth thinking about. So, come these years later, I see this interview with Zerka bring in the heat, just slapping some sense into everybody. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? This is the debate I've got to see. So, I want you guys to take a look at everything that we're about to see here. Leave in the comments what you think is actually going on with the topic of the flat earth, because what happens is that it goes from the flat earth into the God's firmament. And when you have God's firmament, what happens is that you start to research this a little bit. And if you research it, you'll see that we live in an enclosed environment. There's more land, which explains why militaries block off it explains the global warming initiative. Because with global warming, militaries are blocking off your ability to go visit these lands. Because if you could see that there was new land melting in these in the Arctic walls, releasing new lands, you would think to yourself, well, let me go check out this new territory, right? So it starts making your head think like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here? And then you start to see that if you start to amass these things, it takes you down a loophole of things that don't make sense, or just like history is not told in the way that or history is not learned in the way that you see it now. For example, this will lead into something called the Dark Ages, actually being the Light Ages. The millennial reign of Christ already happened, which explains the buildings of antiquity, which then explains why there's super large structures that exists, and we have no idea where they come from. So let's take a look and watch what's going on here with the boys. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the video.
Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the first debate between John Zerka and Michael Sartain about the flat earth. And more, probably. Yeah, this has been a long time in the making. You hit me up about, 2 months ago and saying that you wanted to do this with John. John, let me just establish a few things here first. You are a proponent of the flat earth theories, correct?
Yes, but I'd say firmament because flat earth implies flat earth society bullshit, which it's the disk flying through space. None of that garbage.
So it's interesting because a lot of the things.
Flat earth society is a psychological operation to get you away from the truth. The further that you get into this, you're going to see that there is a lens of deception placed over your eyes, and if you're able to take it off, you'll see the world in a different way. This is built to open up your perspective. So let's take a look.
Things where I went and looked at the stuff you were saying and then asked a bunch of flat earthers about it, and they had some things to
take the counter position.
Yes. I mean, it's standard physics position.
As civil debate and as rational debate. Of course, I wouldn't be a participant in this if it were anything else.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing that gets me. Before we start,
Go ahead.
we're on year 4. Okay, just so we're out established things. This is a big deal on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, you send me a bunch of links. I've looked at the stuff that you've talked about. I think you had a debate with Destiny about this at one point.
My first 40,000 followers I gained was beating Destiny in a flat earth debate because he's the smartest guy on the internet. And I even said, I'll handicap myself. I'll choose a retard topic like flat earth. But it was bait. It was bait because that's not handicap. That's the only thing I ever studied. But it's interesting to me because nobody understands hollow earth, triangle earth. None of those are popular. The most searched topic in YouTube history is flat earth.
Yeah.
And they take it down every time they research it.
Way
Bring it
above.
up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is available on Rumble, as you can see.
In
Links
digital
below.
gifts.
But the reason why isn't because everyone thinks the Earth is flat. A lot of people are still confused how other people still think the Earth is flat.
No,
Hold on. Okay, so here's the way I'm approaching this, and so I've seen other debates, and they're kind of half-assed, and they're not and have no production value. There's no real debate. There's no real talk about it. So the way I would like to run this is I'm just pretend I'm aware of what's going on, but pretend that I'm sort of the noob here, sort of the in between. I'm moderating this, Rollo. And I'm confused. And the reason why I'm confused is because this is a topic that I'm quite honestly, I think should have been settled like way back when Copernicus or Galileo was around.
Galileo. Yeah.
I got an answer for that.
In this theory, Galileo and Copernicus, the geocentric model versus the heliocentric model, would have been lies to deceive you all the way back then out of believing in the firmament. Genesis.
You just.
But wait, these are two different things. Geocentrism and flat Earth are two different things.
Well, we're going to explain all that to you guys here, because I have yet to see a comprehensive video. It's usually just this back and forth bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? I've yet to see a comprehensive video where we actually talk about like what's going on here. Because to me, it's like I can't even believe this is a topic, much less the most popular topic.
Actually, I have a view on that he's going to agree
People
with. I have a
are
debate I
awakening
did for 3.5
if it's real.
hours with flat earthers, and if you search my name
What do you
and
think?
flat Earth,
Let
it
me know.
doesn't even pull up.
Yeah.
Like it's one of these things where if it is an accredited source, the flat Earth stuff pops up. If it is not, like your thing with Witsit, couldn't find it anywhere. It was literally Flat Earth Dave.
How did you find it?
Dave Weiss, Flat Earth Dave sent it to me. Could not find it anywhere. I knew that you had done another debate. Mine.
We humiliated those globetrotters. Yes,
I got
or
to
no?
that you did. Like they didn't because they weren't prepared. Because some of the things.
But it's just so obvious it's round. How you don't have to prepare. It's so obvious.
So this is great. Oh, and roll. What
That's hilarious.
Before we get started here, because we'll do pro con. Time, I'm going to moderate the time. Really going to moderate the time this time. But I wanted to say that the reason why we're doing this is because we want to actually just settle the debate, but like also to have a comprehensive, like a real down to earth talk about this, rather than just this back and forth bullshit, which is just like red meat. I want to actually say why is this even a topic at this point? So before we get started, introduce yourself.
I'm Michael Sartain. I am a former U.S. Air Force officer. I flew special ops for 5 years. I have 700 hours in a KC-135 Stratotanker, and I did counterintelligence for the last
science,
2 years. And
academics,
before that, I used to manage a strip club, and now I host a bunch of bikini competitions. And
through applied science.
yeah, and your co-host on Access Vegas, and I'm the coach of Men of Action Mentor.
Clearly.
Yeah, so I studied astronomy, so I don't have a minor in astrophysics. What happened was I have a major in the business school at UT Austin. They will not allow a natural science minor, even though I have upper division astronomy courses. They wouldn't let me do it. But I studied astronomy for that, and then the next 15 years I studied astronomy.
John Zerka, give us your pedigree.
Same thing. I'm from a strip club, but I was a med club security guy.
Yeah.
Dirty clubs, and since I needed money, my city was so expensive. I worked 7 nights a week, bunch of cocaine to stay up at all sorts of clubs, dirty clubs. So one champagne lounge that was nice, but most of them was like people who pull knives and stuff. I just fought people on the street and uploaded the fights on all the times I won. I upload those on my Instagram. That got permanently banned for violence when I went on a dating show. I went viral.
At all sorts of clubs.
And now I just, I guess what I'm known for this week or this month is I converted 1,400 of the youth into Christians, and that's what I do. And I want to make clear.
Good for you, bro. I
You
support
can
it.
even find me
Support
on
it
the
all the
internet
way.
a couple of years ago.
Make
I
more
always thought,
Christians
I
every
respected
single
religion
day.
as traditional stuff, but I always thought it was gay and hocus pocus and fairy tale. So when I was a flat earther for years, it was because of the scientific method, not because of religion. But now, and I defended it like my religion.
I just said that, so the scientific method. Now, before we, one last thing. What is it about the flat earth theory? I presume I'm using the right terminology. Flat earth theory. What is it about the flat earth theory that made sense to you enough for you to get behind it and put your sort of
firmament,
like
not flat
belief
earth.
system?
Flat earth is bullshit.
You said by science, whatever. What is it that was convincing about that argument so that the point where you're
first
going to be a
book.
proponent?
Page 1.
Yeah, so I was watching the Eddie Bravo, Joe Rogan thing during the Trump 2016. I forgot what it was, but I think it was after. But no, it was actually during Hillary versus Trump, and I was
it's that far back. Yeah, that's right. I remember this.
It goes further back, but that's when it hit the mainstream. And then it turns out it was a dark web leak of Trump administration putting fear into the public to not trust the establishment. Because if the earth is flat, what else are they lying to us about?
Yeah.
So they won't choose Hillary. And then the Trump administration kind of like never spoke about it again. Not that they spoke about it publicly, but all these dark web places that I go to, we're talking about this being, it was with the Hillary Clinton email leaks.
I love that because Melania actually just put out a video about the truth seekers, people who do things like this and keep telling the truth. If you're a truth teller, just keep putting it out there. Don't ever lose your personality for the agenda.
which you don't know about the Moloch, right? The Moloch.
This is 2016, so this is 4chan that you're seeing a lot of this.
Pizzagate time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there was a Clinton email saying I have to sacrifice a chicken, which is code, FBI code for...
The dark web that convinced you that flat Earth is a valid...
No, it was the Eric Dubay when he was mentioned on Eddie Bravo's, because I'm like, what the fuck? Do Amish people believe in flat Earth? But the first thing I saw, I'm not a moonlander. Everyone knows it's fake. Richard Nixon speaking to astronauts on a landline telephone.
Right. He got patched into Houston, and they...
You believe in the moon? Oh, this is going to be humiliating for you.
Today...
All right, so there is a video of Richard Nixon taking a landline telephone and calling astronauts on the moon. I can play you that video right now. We're going to keep it within the debate. Keep it tuned into the Bible Wars. I will play it for you. But that in and of itself shows you that this cannot be real through my lens. I'd like to know your opinion as well. However, he clearly believes that he was patched into the telephone and then like they had the technology to do that. It doesn't even make sense.
He's a moonlander?
Today.
Oh, you are getting... We can say that.
Today is what we're doing. No NASA and nothing to do with space.
Whoa.
Still going to prove this Earth is round.
To answer Rollo's question, you said no NASA?
Yeah.
NASA's the reason.
Yeah, I was going to say that. NASA is why.
The first time they try to bury it online, but these have 100 million views, these clips. Have you seen the NASA astronauts caught on chroma key, green screen, blue screen, and harnesses? So you've seen the harnesses, haven't you?
One of them was a hoax. They actually had a girl who was doing a hoax, like literally on a green screen, and they tried.
This has got to be bullshit. Why would a human being go out of their way to hoax people about space? That, if you know anything about that, please email me at BibleWarsStore@gmail.com. That doesn't make any sense. I just can't agree with that.
To say it was an astronaut, it was not an astronaut. One of them, it wasn't.
No, George
they were using a codex, and they just cut it off, and it keeps. So if you know anything about video codecs,
okay, interesting.
Yeah. We're going to start now, but before everybody, so everybody understands, I've got my stopwatch here on the...
I don't even know if we'll need that. We'll just leave this some top. Okay.
Now, Rollo.
So first we're going to start with this, how we form.
Yeah.
This, so I want to start with John.
Okay.
John, you got 5 minutes to make your case and tell us why the disk theory is not this theory. Tell us what it is that you believe in and why you think it's about.
Okay.
And go.
First, I'm known for I destroyed engineers, physicists, and NASA employee, even a guy who was almost going to be telemetry for NASA, unless he was fucking lying, but he had some credentials. I've debated hundreds of people, wiped the floor with them. I actually thought you were going to be my hardest opponent because you are Air Force and you've done these debates and you know what I'm bringing.
Yep.
But you just said you're a moonlander. So now I'm confident because now I know how far the delusion goes. But when I saw, he will never admit, there's a clip on the movie Level, very viral movie from ericdebate.com of George Bush Sr. being wheeled out in a wheelchair in NASA, and in the background, when you zoom in and they cut it up, it's the same astronaut watching water congeal to a ball, but he's on a chroma key playing with a fake ball, proving water doesn't turn into a ball. They're not in the ISS, and there's harnesses, pulled wires caught, and one wasn't even invisible. One was a real harness. You've seen those.
Listen,
yes or no?
No, I've not seen those.
No, check this out. When I drop these clips on Twitter after the debate, it's going to be a before and after.
Let's do it.
All right, so Berserker's on Twitter. I'm going to go for him.
But there's other ways to make me a believer, and I'm going to go over what those are as well. For the rest of this debate, I'm not going to bring up NASA at all.
Okay.
Because I know what you guys do. You just say, it's fake, and then that's it. And so we're not going to...
So what about...
It's completely unproductive to even talk about this. I'm not going to bring up Mars. I'm not going to bring up NASA.
What, Mars Rover?
I'm not going to...
Are any of those photos real to you?
I'm not even going to bring up that because there's too many things...
Because it's all fake news.
There's too many things you have to answer for that you're not going to be able to...
So hold on. Everything we learned in
I'm
elementary
doing you a
school,
favor.
Mars,
I'm going to prove you
Jupiter,
wrong.
all your
It's only
pagan gods
science.
are fake news, and you don't want to bring up the fake news.
That's work.
So
That's
that's
brilliant.
science. So
I'm at...
gotta
You're
start
John
the analysis
Sartain.
for this.
You're way funnier than me. You are way fucking...
I'm funnier than Dave Chappelle.
You are way more charismatic. Would you admit he's way more charismatic than me?
It's the cult. It's the cult.
Dude, you're better looking than me. You, all this stuff. No homo. Ready?
No, you have better hair. I'm losing my hair from the amphetamines.
No matter what happens, if somebody is
John
objectively
Zucker
right
is
and they
being
have a
followed
debate
by-
with you,
by-
you talk really loud, you say a bunch of stuff. I'm like, you're fucking crazy,
You're
bro.
deleting space. This is so unfair. You're
Go follow the
deleting
Bible Wars on
80%
They're
of
fucking whores. They're fucking whores. That's why the sun is fake. Bro, listen. listen. What I want to do, like, I love how you do this, and I do, but I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to see if you can answer some of these questions.
I'll
Actually, I'll
stay
tweet him
here
that I'm
for
watching this
5
now.
dude,
Yeah,
I'll stay here for 5 hours if you tell me why you're deleting 80% of the topic. Outer space. Rollo, is that fair? He's deleting the whole outer space stuff. The whole.
Stop. I'll talk to you about NASA, but I want to prove the Earth is round before we get to anything to do with NASA.
So, you wanted me to explain what my model is, right?
Slash
You know,
BibleWars.
what is your model? Is it a disc? Is it
Episode
what?
one.
Like a weird live? Like, okay, pretend I know nothing. Is it a disc?
Sure.
What keeps the sport? How does gravity work?
Okay, so gravity. How did they explain gravity before? Is my timer starting over?
Yeah.
How did they explain gravity before this? I mean, how did they explain why things rise and fall?
It be in 1689.
Yeah, how did they explain it before the math model of gravity,
Doing
which
a
is,
breakdown
makes
of your
no sense,
debate
right?
with Michael
Is if
Sartain.
this water bottle falls,
about 4
it's
months
denser
later.
than the
Damn,
medium
this is
surrounding
good.
air.
No, that's
Good.
not it.
And if it rises,
content.
it's like are you telling me helium is a magical element? A Pikachu balloon is beating gravity that's holding skyscrapers to the ground?
Not only helium, but hydrogen.
Okay, so those are the only two magic.
And your boy who ran.
It's more buoyant.
Time out. Your boy who ran Germany back in 1939, he filled a balloon full of hydrogen. Not only will helium do it, hydrogen will do it.
You're making my point for me. You're saying there's two magical elements.
Because there's a periodic table, and on the periodic table, which of those gases have a lower atomic number than oxygen? Helium and hydrogen.
But why are they rising?
Look on the because they have.
Because they're
Twitter.com
less dense than the air
/BibleWars.
surrounding it.
Yes, because they have a lower atomic mass in them. Yes, you're correct. That's right.
Zerka, do we live on a disc or do we not live on a disc?
No,
Let's redo this.
No. It's not a disc flying through space assumes that space is real. Every single fucking picture on Google of space is computer generated. That's why he's afraid to talk.
No.
Mike, you know why you're afraid to talk.
We're going to talk about it. I just want to prove that the Earth is round before we get to that.
Before anything,
Yeah.
do you believe that the composites NASA uses?
Here we go. See,
he's running. He's running. He's running.
100%.
Picture of Mars is
100%. I'm going to talk about this.
Okay, not space.
But-
Earth.
no.
The blue marble. You got to run from the blue marble.
100% I will talk about this after I prove the Earth is round.
Okay.
After we do that, then we'll get to those.
Someone remind me. You have to say you believe in the blue marble at the end of it.
100%. We'll talk about that at the end. But what I'm not going to do is what every time, because I've watched hundreds of flat Earth debates, and this is what they always do. Prove to us that you can do it without NASA. So I'm going to take you up on the challenge. I'm going to prove to you without NASA.
Me too.
We're going to do things that have nothing to do with NASA, and we're going to describe that, and you're not going to be able to explain it. And then at the end, I'm going to give you a proof so that you can prove that the Earth is flat, and then you can take me up on that. And then if you want to talk about NASA, we can do it afterwards. But I'm not getting caught in this trap that I see every single time.
Well, they saved the trap for the end.
There we go. You say the trap for the end. So here's a couple things.
Yeah, so no, it's not a disc world. The Earth would be the basement of the universe. Space is fake. When you think of space,
What are we in right? Where does the disc float?
Tesla said Earth is not a sphere, it's a realm.
So Tesla never
Einstein
said
said,
that.
hold on, Einstein said the Earth
Every
is an
time you Google a
observable,
picture,
motionless.
Einstein never said that. Einstein said that, but
can't
by
find an
all
actual picture
observable
of
means,
the
we'll read the
Earth
quote later.
by
Go ahead.
the
Okay,
phone
all right.
thing, so
And when you look
Go
at
on
star
Google it
trails,
I know where I am.
Prove me
Zerka,
wrong.
tell me where
okay,
I am.
look at star trails. Polaris, the North Star, has not deviated an inch off the sky for thousands of years.
But it did deviate before thousands of years.
But star trails never intersect. They all go one way. Why? Why have the stars been? Oh, there's the Big Dipper. You're not an acentric, heliocentric model flying through space because it's been the same for thousands of fucking years. But they want to go with their fake. Time is relative. Like these stars are just so far away. And what you're telling me? You're taking pictures of the color.
to his point, the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. An airplane flies at 500 miles per hour. A helicopter is 500 feet above the ground. 1 hour goes by. Where does the plane land, and where does the helicopter land if the helicopter goes straight down and never moved?
You don't have to do that. You can actually look at the moons of Jupiter and see them changing. You don't have to worry about
the
it.
CGI of Jupiter.
Again, but if I go
This is
and
a
I
good one,
look,
man.
I
This
can
is
take a
fun.
$100 telescope right now. Anybody, stop this video, and you can look up millions of videos of people. Nothing to do with NASA. You don't need the Arecibo telescope. You don't need the James Webb telescope. You don't need the Hubble telescope.
What about the Lucifer telescope in the Vatican?
Why
You
do
don't
they have
need any
a
of those
Lucifer
telescopes.
telescope?
You can go to the front of Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles, and you can look at one of those cheap telescopes, and you can can clearly see Ganymede, Io, Callisto, and Europa, the 4 major moons of Jupiter.
Really? Are you sure they're not just luminaries in the fucking sky?
Not only can you see them, you can see the red swirling storm around Jupiter, and you can.
You're saying you can see lights in the sky and you know what they are. That's what you're saying.
Because they go behind each other. That's the reason why you can see.
So you're convinced a light in the sky is a moon.
And when you see them, and you can see them go, you can see them in different positions, meaning it takes 12 years for Jupiter, or whatever you believe Jupiter is, to go around the sun, and it takes 365 days for the Earth to do it.
Isn't Jupiter the pagan storm god? But you believe there's a storm on Jupiter?
Here we go.
Then repackage that pagan shit for you and you buy it.
Thor is it.
And remember, heliocentrism from Helios, this is Apollo solar worship. This is sun worship. This is Luciferian.
Yeah, right. But you're gonna win the debate with the
and where did heliocentrism come from?
Bro,
the Vatican.
Stop. You're the one who's running now. Stop. Listen. Okay, here we go. So here's the first thing I'm going to ask you, and we're going to do the first 3 major proofs. And the first one is, if I am standing in Sydney, Australia, and if I'm standing in Johannesburg, South Africa, and if I'm standing in Buenos Aires, Argentina, when I look to the south, I see the same Southern Cross. If I were to take long exposure photography, I would see the entire celestial sphere all around me. I would see the entire celestial sphere go around a central point in the southern point, in the Southern Cross. Right. But in all 3 places, I'm seeing the same thing, but according to the flat Earth model, I'm facing in 3 different directions. Now, the answer to that flat Earthers...
There's a mirror effect they had last time.
No, it wasn't.
Do you remember that?
No, it was, you have your own personal dome. Meaning, it's like my little pond where we all... Okay, but that's what Witz had said, and that's what fucking Jaron said. And then,
are they saying optically that's you have your personal dome?
Yeah, you have
not actually a personal dome.
No, they think you have actually, but as soon as, for some reason, in the northern hemisphere, there is no personal dome, but in the southern hemisphere, when I go to these 3 places, it is irrefutable that I see the same thing. Even flat earthers admit that you see the same thing in all 3 places. And the only possible way that is because you're looking at the same point. And the reason why you're looking at the...
Okay, so here's a ball, right? Just through his logic alone, if you're looking at one point, let's say it's there, right? And you're looking at another point, let's say it's there. And you're looking at another point, let's say it's there. 1, 2, 3. On a ball, how can all 3 points look at the same place? You got to do a better description than that, Mike. To be fair.
Same point is because the Earth is round. Don't care about NASA. Don't care about Mars. Don't care about any of those things. When I'm in the southern hemisphere, not only can I see the Southern Cross,
it shouldn't even be a
I can't
thing.
see fucking Polaris anymore because the Earth has blocked me from Polaris, showing that the Earth is round. And we'll get into the point.
That's a great point. That's great.
So the point is, if I'm looking in all 3 places to the south, I can't see anything else but that. There's two things. Flat Earthers will say, well, 3 actually. One, they'll say that the southern pole rotates around the Earth, but that's impossible because you can actually have 2 places that are in night at the same time. So Santiago or Johannesburg and Sydney will be at nighttime at the same time, and you will both see the Southern Cross at the same time. So that's
at what part of the year is that?
But within a dome, you're able to see all 3 points, or you're able to see 1 point from all 3 angles. I mean, come on, man. This is a debate. You guys got to bring the heat.
That's going to be winter in the southern hemisphere, so summer in the northern hemisphere.
Okay, so
that's going to be when the sun is in the little circle in the middle and not in the big circle on the outside.
Now, can you have you said, sorry, can you have a 24-hour sun?
Okay, hold on.
Can you record a 24-hour sun?
No, but even in...
Has anyone recorded a 24-hour sun?
In northern latitudes, you don't. But
whoa, it's like you've never seen a recording of a 24.
No, it'll dip down.
Now he's drowning.
It'll dip down below the equator and then come back up.
But I have footage.
Love it.
But then the footage is blocked on YouTube. But we flat earthers have the footage. We've done it ourselves. You don't believe in a 24-hour sun that never touches the horizontal horizon?
I think if you went farther north and it was on June 21st, you might be able to see.
If I pulled up footage right
there, high enough. Well,
I'm not going to lose. We're not going to lose the flow state.
That's fine.
But you don't want to say you're online, right?
We'll show that later. But that doesn't make any difference.
No, it does. Because when I drop it on Twitter, it's going to humiliate you.
It's not going to humiliate me because if I'm in the North Pole, and remember, there's also, you had some arguments about magnetic North Pole. There is a difference between the North Pole the actual North Pole, that the flat Earth that is the middle of the flat Earth, and the magnetic North Pole.
Well, where's south on a compass? You're an army guy. Where's south on a compass?
It's south. It's the opposite of north.
You know, where is south on a compass? If you're an army guy, where is south?
It's the opposite.
Where is the South Pole? Very good question. Within the round Earth, you would imagine that the North Pole's at the top and the South Pole's at the bottom. Yet you can't get to the South Pole. It's blocked off by militaries. In his argument, it's a circle, and the North Pole is the middle.
Opposite of north.
You believe in a south pole,
but there's no upside down,
No.
up and down.
Kind of like a
South
snow
is
globe.
not. You're saying opposite because you're saying it's 180 degrees away from north.
But
What you're really saying, you're just admitting there is no
No,
south
but
pole.
you just
Yeah, but
admitted,
in the
you
snow
just
globe,
admitted that you see
air,
the South
everything
South
else
Pole
is
when
water.
you're in Buenos Aires, when you're in Sydney, Australia.
I didn't read that one.
When you go in all three of those places, please, everyone, stop this recording. Put this in your watch later list and go and watch. And you can see in all three of those places, indefatigably, you will see, if you use long exposure lenses, you will see the entire sky go around one point, and you will see the Southern Cross in all three of those places. You are facing in the same direction, and you will not see Polaris. When you are looking at Polaris, and you're in the northern hemisphere, like let's say in New York or in Las Vegas, you can see Polaris, you cannot see the Southern Cross because those places are blocked. And what flat earthers will say is because there is a finite light, they finite.
You didn't answer it.
What do you mean? What do you talking about?
When I said Polaris has not deviated an inch off the sky, you're saying I can find a hide and seek spot to hide from it.
Here we go. Now,
I don't see it from this spot.
now,
Has it
here we go.
moved? Has it moved?
Yeah, so
it has.
And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it through.
But I thought-
I'm going to prove it through Gary the Numbers Guy, because there's a difference.
Oh, the guy who beat you.
There's a guy, but there's a difference between Vedic astrology and Greco-Roman astrology. And in Greco-Roman astrology, if you're a Libra, your sign is actually in Sagittarius because the Earth, it precesses. And it's proof that it precesses. That's why all the zodiac signs are off by 15 degrees. Because in the last 2,500 years,
so-
when the zodiac was created, Polaris.
When the stars are spinning, for him to make this argument, Polaris is the one star, when you look at those videos or pictures of the Earth rotating and all the stars are rotating, one of them stays the same all the time. But they say that Polaris is at the North Pole, but they say that while there is no South Pole and there is no South Polaris, and at the same time they're saying that the Earth is rotating 1,000 miles per hour, and this one star has to be here at one time. This argument isn't good.
Was not exactly on the North Star like it is now. There's a second proof. But actually,
missing the point.
There's Aztec ruins that show that we're aligned with the North Star, and they're 3,000 years old, and they're off. They're in a different place.
Within the dome,
the point
everything
is,
is
the
aligned.
point is, the Earth
You're
does
missing the whole point.
The Earth
For
does
thousands of years, the stars have been swirling. Once they're all over.
They don't. Okay, so now here's another problem with your thing. So,
Well, how fast is the Earth moving? If they,
okay.
I thought we're moving very fast.
we are moving very fast.
So why the fuck are they always the same?
So let's go over that.
Fixed in
Let's go over that. So they aren't. And actually, Witsit talked about this on your
They
debate.
aren't?
So when the,
Okay, so
the Earth,
stars
let's just say,
here,
just humor me here,
we're moving
it's
through
93 million
space
miles
super
average
fast.
distance between the Earth and the Sun.
Yeah.
And so in June 21st, I'm over here, and we'll just say in December 21st, I'm over here. When we look at stars, we can see in arc seconds they actually move. And Witsit said, well, how do we know that the stars aren't moving, that the Earth isn't moving? And the reason why we know is because when they go back to December 21st, they move the fuck back to where they were originally.
Well, how much are they moving?
They
Parallax
would've
proves
just been anyway.
that we're the ones moving and not the star. So you can't.
Really? Well, so Mickelson, Morley, 6 and
Ah,
7.
thank you.
Wait, but thank you for bringing up Mickelson, Morley. Yes. We'll go there in a second. Hold on. You said
Thank you for bringing that
we'll
up.
go to Mickelson in a second, but
so
93
great.
million miles from the sun?
No, it's 180. So
No, for the sun and the
I-
Earth, right?
I like
So we agree on
Mickelson,
that.
yeah.
How
Don't
the
get-
fuck
this is
do
a
you have a
debate.
perfect eclipse?
Debate. Everything's fair.
You're gonna play the Goldilocks thing, really?
Are you
And
going to say
Rollo
you're gonna
and,
A perfect
Zerka.
fucking
This
eclipse.
is
so
good.
my question for you is
The sun and the moon are
in
relatively the same size.
flat Earth, they're exactly the same size. How do
No,
you-
not exactly. Relatively.
Okay, so in flat Earth, they're relatively the same size.
In
How do you
yours,
explain that?
yours-
How do you explain that? How do you explain that in flat Earth? Why are they the same size in flat Earth? Why are they the same
What's the
size?
same size?
What do you mean, why?
Well, they have to be because there's eclipses in flat Earth also. So why are the sun and the moon the same size in flat Earth?
Our model is that the Earth is bigger than the sun and moon. Your model is that the sun is bigger than Earth.
Well, why are
If the sun is bigger than the Earth, how the fuck is it eclipsing with the moon? The moon is tiny.
Let's say
Is it just perfectly far away?
No, let's say no. I'm gonna.
You have to do Goldilocks
I'm
answer
gonna
here,
put.
you
I'm
know
gonna
that?
put this on you. Why is it if the sun and the moon are smaller than the Earth in the flat Earth model? Why are they the same size? Why are they the same size?
So that's how God made it.
Okay, good. I just wanted you to say,
Is that how God made it? God, why is the grass?
Thank you.
How is
Thank you. Doug.
Hold on. No, wait. Hold on. Why is the sun bigger than the earth?
Why is the sun bigger than the
Your
earth?
answer would be because God made it.
No, it wouldn't be good. Why? Because gravity. Because that's the original.
That's a weak argument.
That's the original formation of the galaxy.
So you believe in a burning ball of gas in a
Thank you.
in a fucking vacuum?
Burning ball of gas.
I know for each one.
Here, so here's a question. Scientifically, observably, if you do believe in the ball being a giant burning gasoline star in the sky, you should be able to replicate science. So if the sun is a ball of gasoline in the solar system, you should be able to take a lighter in a dark room, use it as a source of light, turn that lighter on, and grow plants from that. And if you were able to do that, then through the process of photosynthesis, the tree and plant itself should have properties of gasoline within it. That argument doesn't work for me. What do you
The Earth
think?
rotates once every 23 hours.
And 6 minutes, yes.
So it's called.
Whoa. Is that 66.6?
No,
Is that the
36 minutes. 56 minutes. 50,
I'll put it on Twitter.
It's at the speed of
about 1,100 miles.
1,100 miles.
Gasoline
You said
in it.
23.
It's 23:56.
Yeah, and that you know which angle that is? That's 66.6 Freemasonic.
There we go. Freemasonic. That's
this
it.
one,
There we go.
you-
There we go. No. Okay.
Are we gonna leave?
Okay.
If
So let's not.
6.6,
We're flowing.
And since it's military guy, no. If he says stars, I stay on stars. If he says sun, I'll go to sun. I can go anywhere. But you're a military guy. What is Operation Fishbowl?
Listen, I know what
Tell me,
you're
Operation Fishbowl.
No idea.
Shooting rockets against the dome?
No idea.
Dominic means in Latin of the Lord.
Again.
You don't know what Operation
I'm
Deep
going to point this out again. I said at the beginning of this, I wasn't going to invoke NASA or spaceflight whatsoever, and I was going to prove that the Earth is round. So we're going to stay on this. Okay. So now the next part of it.
Water. Thank you.
The next part of going into what you're saying, all right? So the parallax shows that the Earth is moving. Now let's go to
That's why you think it's a ball? Because of the parallax? Really?
No.
I thought it's just so obvious.
The parallax shows that it's moving. Now let's go to Michelson-Morley. So what happened was before, when we would see something like sound, we knew that sound traveled through a medium. It travels through more denser mediums, it goes faster, and more lighter mediums, it goes slower. Meaning sound actually travels faster through water than it does through air. So
And faster through women. They're so fast.
yeah, it does. It goes pretty fast to them as well. So because of that, back in the 1800s, we just assumed that maybe light also traveled through a medium. And we called it, before we knew what it was or had any idea that it actually doesn't exist, a luminiferous ether. Michelson-Morley, please don't take my word for this, look it up on your own, was to disprove or prove luminiferous ether, not to prove or disprove whether or not the Earth was moving.
Who has proved the Earth is moving, Mike? Who has proved? I'll give you the point.
And Dr. Michelson and Dr. Morley, when they died, never believed that the Earth wasn't moving, never believed the Earth was flat, and nor did Albert Einstein. When Albert Einstein makes the quote that you misinterpret in the quote, and I'm going to read the quote because
Einstein fucked his cousin, bro.
okay, right, he did. Ready? So here's the thing.
That's your prophet,
But
right?
this is my favorite part about this, is that Whitsitt goes, I'm not cherry picking here, and then literally cherry picked in the interview.
Wait. Can I just give you the point? Because I didn't do this much research on big
Yeah, I don't.
You can have this,
Okay.
but you can have the point completely. I don't need the fucking spiel. But I'm not Andrew Tate where I go, I'm top G. I know when I'm lose a point, right? You probably know more about that. But
He fights with Andrew Tate. I like Andrew Tate. So that's all between you and him, guy.
you're telling me
Yeah.
you don't believe in objective truth if you believe in Einstein.
What are you talking about?
Well,
Oh, you're talking about relativity.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't believe in it.
So no, it's not objective truth. When you're confusing the actual denotative version of the word relative with relativity. Those are two different things. Relativity has to do with the bending of space-time, and I'm not even going to go into that because that's still space, and we're still sticking on the Earth.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
Before we get into that, we can talk about that.
Wait, hold on. Question. Hold on.
Hold on. Before we do this real quick, because this is the most misquoted thing I've ever heard. What he says is, Albert Einstein says, since then, this is in 1905, so he invents relativity in
That's
1905.
before he fucked his cousin.
Right, before he fucked his cousin. In 1887, though, this is when Michelson-Morley did their experiment, we can go.
We all got a hot cousin.
We
admit
we
that?
can. Yes. Okay, stop. No, I never had a hot cousin. Okay, anyway.
What a liar. No,
I can't trust this guy.
It's a
Oh,
global.
God.
Basically, since then I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by any optical means. So he said before several times.
By no scientific experiment. Is what he's really saying.
But what he's talking about though is only Michelson-Morley, and the last line he goes, though the earth is revolving around
Yeah,
the
he's
sun.
paid to say that.
Right. But again is, how is he, I don't want to go into why he would be paid to say this in 1905 when he's
It's
not
an
even,
attack on
but he's not even, okay.
He's
Exactly.
leading the attack on
If you want to go,
Everything
we're going way off topic here. But before
And
you said, you remember you were saying the dinosaurs
really
are an
be
attack on the
correlated to being
creation
an
story
attack
on
on the Bible.
Christianity?
You believe in dinosaurs?
No, hold on, time out. But
No, say it on camera. I'm Mike Sartain. Believe in dinosaurs right now.
when you say on camera, you believe that dinosaurs are an attack on Christianity.
So I don't know if he knows this, but you can absolutely prove that dragons were in the Bible. There's Behemoth, there's Leviathan. Check it out, Leviathan in Leviticus. Behemoth, I think was like a giant mammal, more like a dinosaur. The dinosaur argument is a very hard one. They'll probably go into it. But dragons absolutely existed at some point in time. They were absolutely real.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This particular one, there's a theory about it. There's a theory that the snake, reptilian, that the devil becomes when the theory is that the devil jumped into the snake, and then later that snake becomes Leviathan, which is a giant sea dragon in Leviticus. So go check that out. That part is a theory. Again, I don't know. You guys got to look into that a little bit more to understand it. It would be poetic if he had a setup and payoff later in the Bible. But if not, dragons, in this sense, did exist independently. Check it out.
Cool. But there's also a Jewish creation story and a Muslim creation
For
story.
what?
The Jewish creation story as Genesis and the Torah. It's
all
Genesis.
You're talking about Abrahamic faith?
Yeah, but my point, but no, same thing with Islam. Islam has a creation story. So it's
What
my
are you
point.
talking about? They all pretending they believe in the same God.
No. My point is, dinosaurs are not just an attack on Christianity. They're an attack
Christ.
on all creation.
No, because what is promoted on the algorithm?
That's
Islam,
good.
not Christianity. Nick Fuentes is not promoted like Mohammed.
This
Hold on, is
has
Nick
got
Fuentes promoted like Mohammed Hijab? Are you fucking joking me?
You're missing the point of what I'm trying to say.
No, you're trying to lump them all together.
No, what I'm saying is in general, forget the internet. What your point specifically was that the dinosaurs, well, we're not here to talk about dinosaurs, but
We can do 10 5 minutes
second.
quickly.
Like,
Why do you believe in dinosaurs? Just to hit me, like convince me? Because someone ran a book?
Because where we found the fossils, where it is in the carbon dating, there has to have been something there.
When was the firstborn found?
1700s, I believe, 1600s.
And only in only in the West. But only not in China.
That's when it was recorded, though.
Oh my gosh, that's after. That's after. Right. I'll post on Twitter. First of all, 99% of all dinosaur bones are made out of rat bones.
Actually, 100.
They're all replicas. Admit they're replicas.
But they're 65 million years old, so 100% of them is not biological material. It's all sediment that were placed where the bone was. So like that, what you're saying.
So are they lizards or do they have feathers? Which
Okay,
one do you
so that argument wasn't good. He says there's no dinosaurs, and then he says, "Oh well, they're filling in the gaps with resin." No one is really talking about dinosaurs here. So if you guys have anything to throw in this chat or to throw in for a future video, please go ahead and email it at the BibleWarsStore@gmail.com or leave it in the comments. I'll go ahead and take a look, and I'll throw this note in there. If you'd like to take a note in the direction of where this channel is going and content that I'll be covering, go to TikTok at BibleWars and look at the reposted videos. A lot of the content there is fantastic.
In evolution, which I'm sure you don't believe in evolution, they are a bifurcation point between the lizard.
Wait, you believe in evolution?
Yep.
Where are
Okay, with evolution, I believe that we can actually look this up. Humans have 12 ribs. Monkeys have 13 ribs. How many ribs does a monkey have? 12 to 14 pairs of ribs. Fair enough. I could see how a person may confuse evolution there, or deeply believe in evolution. But if you were to go down this Bible Wars path that we're about to follow, what you'll find is that these sciences are usually an inversion of the truth. So to say that there is an evolution of man from primitive to advanced, it's usually an exact inversion to say from advanced to we, the current existing humans, are the more primitive and compared to our ancestors that were absolutely giants, absolutely closer to God, absolutely able to craft buildings of antiquity that we cannot explain. Having written the Bible, we are taught that man was primitive, but the more that you do your research, you may find that that is not the case.
the intermediary species between a canine or let's say a whale turning into a land mammal?
No.
Where's the intermediary species?
I just want to make this clear. I'm having fun. I don't have all the answers. I need you guys to take a look.
There is no.
There's zero, but there should be millions.
So a whale has its own tree, and the thing that bridges in between is like.
Where are the bones of the whale? Throwing fucking legs. Where are they? There should be millions. Where are they?
No, because
you believe in.
That is fair. If evolution is real, there should be thousands of any intermediary species going from point A to point B. If a fish or some aquatic animal crawled out of the ocean, there should absolutely be fossils, just like there's fossils of giants that are being hidden and destroyed, of animals, aquatic animals, going from sea to land.
An adaptation. I believe in adaptation.
Extinction of it.
No, you want to talk about adaptation? You want to talk about adaptation?
Yeah.
Adaptation is real. Animals adapt to their environment.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
But species don't cross.
So
from whale into a dog? Are you fucking?
But nobody says a whale crossed into a dog.
But there's a million intermediate species, and you haven't found one fucking bone.
No, but you're not going to find bones unless they are specifically trapped in certain areas.
How do we get different bred dogs? Go.
That's
Is that from wolves? Is that from Canis lupus?
It's artificial selection.
Is that from wolves? We breed dogs with dogs. We don't breed them with fucking wolves. That's how we get different dogs.
Yes.
So it's not going from wolf to dog. You admit it.
No, wait a second. We have records.
Now, for that argument, I'm not 100% sure where Zerka is going with that, because I have seen plenty of documentaries on how dogs are bred, and if you were to take a very, very aggressive fox, then I'm just going to stick to the fox for now. A fox with very aggressive features, and you breed out those aggressive features, and then you take a fox with the less dominant features, you go from having a pointed ear to a floppy ear. So what they'll do is they'll breed dogs until they have more beta traits, less domestic traits, and as that occurs, you get like a fluffy, happy, non-aggressive dog, essentially. In this example, it's not exactly a dog. It's almost a dog. Now, for anyone that is watching this, what you'll want to know is what the hell are they talking about when they talk about the firmament. So I'm going to show you this from Zerka's perspective. This is actually what the firmament would look like. You see how actually right here, gate of heaven, heavens, God is in the heavens, it actually makes a cross like Jesus. This is the dome that he's fighting to explain. So it goes Sheol, that's actually hell, the great deep. Beneath that, above that is heaven, and it's all connected in this ecosystem, and these waters are the waters of the firmament. So when I was speaking about the dragon in Leviticus, it would be swimming in these waters with no problem. Every time that you go swimming, this is the Arctic wall over here that you cannot get in. And Polaris would be up here at the top, and all the stars would be luminaries above the firmament. I'm surprised that they didn't get a chance to describe this for you, but this would have made it easier to understand. These are the foundations of heaven according to Genesis. And if you go outside right now, the deception exists, because if you were to walk outside right now, you would actually be able to you would be able to know that you could look up at God and pray. Most people think God exists in some different dimension, but he's right above you. If you were to ask a child to point to heaven or to point to hell, this lines up with that. It does not line up with outer space. Use your head and tell me what you think. Now, let's go back to this great debate and see what we got going on here.
Of actual Germanic gray wolves turning into dogs.
Because dogs existed.
No.
They existed.
Dogs, the early dude down there.
I'll tell you back. Dogs come from dogs and wolves. There's not wolves yet or dogs.
There are no dog bones before 50,000 years ago.
Oh my God!
You're crazy. Gray wolves in Germanic Germanic tribes.
Wolves turned into dogs. That's what you're saying. Say that on.
Oh no, time out. You said
a scientist disagree.
If I took DNA of one of your family members and yours, would I be able to match the two of you together?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I could do the same thing with a dog and a wolf.
Yeah, but would you find DNA of me turning into an African?
No.
Exactly. You doesn't turn into a dog. That's the whole point.
But if you and an African person, I'm going to find over 99% commonality in your genetics between you and an African.
Yeah, you're going to say that about a fucking banana, too. I'm saying,
No,
I
it's
said, you can,
50%, actually. It's not 100%.
can an Albanian just...
I'm not really sure where they're going with
turn
any of
into
these
a lion.
arguments.
That's how-
They
well,
describe
it's
the
not-
flat Earth
that's
far
what
better
I'm
than
saying.
people.
That's how evolution works.
But you're saying for the...
There's billions of different species, and
Where are they? You said billions. Where are they? Where are the billions of intermediary?
Again, bacteria, they get destroyed.
You said you're finding
Wow.
all over the place.
Okay, Mike Sartain. That is a weak argument, my guy. To say that bacteria ate all of the intermediary species, I respect you a lot. I like who you are. You gotta bump up that point, man.
Where are the whale bones turning into mammals? Well, at the end, what's the whale?
Whales are mammals. Whales are mammals.
No, land mammals.
Right, but there are.
Where are they?
But
Where?
Because if you look at the genetic commonality between, like, say,
Just say they don't exist. You know they don't exist.
No, but as far as whale bones specifically dealing with that thing, they're so old that you wouldn't have found the bones. It's like 65 million. We didn't.
How did you? Hold on. No, Rollo, you gotta let me talk. You gotta let me talk. Please.
Oh, I guess.
In there,
Mike.
intermediates.
Yeah.
You said they're so old,
Yeah.
you will never find them.
Yeah.
How the fuck you find a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Great.
Boom!
Great.
That's it.
Great.
You're done on dinosaurs. We're going back to flat Earth.
Here we go.
Good point.
Here's how
Look at the
Here's how you find it. Here's how you find it. Here's how you find it. It's buried in certain areas. So we found skull human remains from 3 million years ago. We found other remains of other animals 40, 50
So
million ago.
Tyrannosaurus Rex is okay, but whale turning into a land...
Again, where would a whale have died?
Huh?
Where would a whale have died? Where would a whale die?
Obviously at that
horrible.
beach amphibian.
No, they don't beach. They don't. When
They're just fighting at this point. The argument in this specific instance is that if a fish grew legs and was able to crawl on land, the intermediary species that goes from aquatic to land mammal, where would that animal have died? Well, once it grew legs and decided that through evolution it wanted to be on the land, it would have had to die on the land. That is a non-applicable point.
whales die, where do they go? Where do their bones?
But these aren't whales.
No.
These are turning into
Anything, mastodon, or like what's the thing?
Camellodon.
The old shark,
Same
like whatever. What I'm talking about is where would they die?
They
They
go
would
on?
They would die in the ocean. Correct.
Then
Where we can't even get to now.
Your argument is you can't find a fucking whale bone.
Yeah.
You can't find a one. Look at him. I got his ass now. Put the camera on him. Put the camera on him.
Yes, awesome. Okay,
Oh,
listen,
this
so
one
now
is good.
the first thing that we went over was the three
Right,
places
come on,
you
man.
can see the Southern Cross from 3 places in the Southern Hemisphere. The second one was flying in the Southern Hemisphere. So there is a Kwanzaa flight, Flight 63, that goes from
See,
Johannesburg.
right now I'm getting this. This is the problem. When you live through science, science doesn't have all the answers. When you live through God, God has all the answers. That's the point. You live through the Bible and all the answers are there. Everything is real. You're actually probably taught more to look at the Bible as a metaphor than literally, which is another deceptive lens. Start looking at the Bible literally. Makes a lot more sense.
Johannesburg, South Africa, to Sydney, Australia. And there are flights that go in opposite directions at the same time. The theory that flat earthers have is that there's a 1,000 kilometer headwind or tailwind. Unfortunately, that doesn't work because it would have to go in both directions at the same time. And you could disprove all of fucking round earth. And all you did was get into the cabin and take a picture of the ground speed. In an airplane, you have IAS, TAS, and GS. Ground speed, indicated airspeed, and true airspeed. All you have to do is show that the indicated airspeed was 275 and the ground speed was 2,000 knots. But you can't do that because there is no fucking headwind or tailwind that's going 1,000 miles an hour. And the flight is 14 hours one way and 12 hours the other, and you don't go over the northern hemisphere. Not possible in a flat earth.
Now, east to west travel is possible on a globe Earth, right? On the globe Earth, you're able to go east and west, but there's no flights to go north and south. Explain that one. Now, with the other firmament model, if I take this piece of paper here, the firmament exists like this, how you saw earlier. The plane can go inside of a circle or straight through the circle.
You just said you have to get in the cabin of a air.
So let's do it. So that,
hold on. It's my turn. Let's roll it. You got to give me my.
let's do it. Let's you and me do it. Let's, we can do it now, bro.
Rollo, let me talk. He said you got to get in the cabin of an airplane, right, Rollo?
Yep.
Explain to me why that's a problem.
Yeah.
We go to all.
Also, you can hold your own GPS. You can have your own GPS and check ground speed. You can hold your own GPS and check.
Did you see? Have you been on a plane? So you saw the curve at 30,000 feet in altitude.
No, you do not. You don't.
Yeah, you better say that. He was about to say, yeah, the curve.
You can see the curve. No.
But you've said it, Rollo, admit it. You've said to someone before. Have you been on an airplane? Have you seen the curve? You've said that before.
No, never said.
I have a clip.
Okay, so ready? Here's the.
But hold on.
You cannot see the curve at 35,000 feet. Go ahead.
Why not? Why wouldn't you see the curve?
Okay, so you will not see the curve until 260,000 feet. Because here's the thing. The curve is obvious within human beings have a 100.
How many feet did you say?
260,000 feet.
So NASA disagrees with you.
About saying that, no. NASA
What does NASA say?
Here we go. If I take a panoramic camera and I take a photograph of the horizon and I compress it in, you will see a curve. Human beings have a 135-degree peripheral vision, and they can see pretty clearly in this like middle 60 degrees. In the middle 60 degrees, when do you see the curve? It's about at 50 miles, 260,000 feet. That's when you'll see it. This is the reason. And also, the balloon thing, no, that wasn't the curve. The fisheye thing, you're correct. That wasn't the curve.
Excuse me, what? Say it all into what's a fisheye? You sound like a conspiracy theory.
No, I'm not conspiracy. You can't see a curve until you get to 50 miles. You can't. So all those people are wrong. You're correct. They're all wrong.
What about Red Bull jump?
Yeah, that's 128,000 feet. That
Red Bull jump.
260,000 feet.
Why does everyone say that's proof of?
Because they're dumb. I agree with you that they're dumb. They don't know how to fisheye link works.
Is there footage online of a curve?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, but time out. We talk about this one more time. I'm not going to the NASA shit. I'm going to prove that the Earth is round, and I'm not going to use. Yes, it is. Anything that goes above that,
Red Bull is.
You're going. Red Bull's 128,000 feet. Yeah. 260,000 feet.
Oh, you're saying you're going with you're going with Neil deGrasse Tyson that it's going to be way higher.
I don't know if Neil said that, but it's
you don't want to cut it at what? You don't want to cut it at 120?
No, 260,000 feet. That's when you.
But at 8 inches per mile. Hold on, at 8 inches per mile square curvature calculation.
Oh, so great.
You should be able to see so much curve at 120.
High five. Thank you so much. Thank you. 8 inches per mile squared. Ready? And here we go. 8 inches per mile squared measures a parabola. Please take a time to pause this and look it up. We are also, on every single one of the proofs I have here, we're going to put in the description with timestamps an article showing each one of these things to be true. 8 inches per mile squared is so inaccurate at 20 miles. It starts to get inaccurate at 60. I mean, 40 and 60 miles, it's unusable. Why? 100
less data than
because the Earth in our model is a circle or an oblique spheroid. A parabola,
a circle, it's a sphere.
A spheroid. The
circle is flat.
Right, but with the measurement you're doing for the curvature of the Earth, it's for a line.
How is it?
It's for a curved line. So in this case, once you get past 60 miles, it's off. Now, I'm going to...
But if you're saying that it changes?
No. What I'm saying, it's a circle. 8 inches per mile squared.
Wait. Why does it...
8 inches per mile squared.
The higher up you go,
8 inches per mile squared is a parabola.
When does the horizontal horizon start to do this? At what altitude does it even slightly bend? You're saying
260,000 miles, yeah.
260? Yeah. Like, NASA was like at 65,000.
No.
You're like,
one more time. I'm going to reiterate.
Mike knows more than that.
Yeah, one more time.
That's what I'm saying.
If you take a panoramic photo of 180 degrees and then you compress it,
why does it have to be panoramic?
Because the human eye only goes 135, and that's the reason why. Because
I'm getting the feeling that he's just throwing things out there all over the place. We're going from panorama photos, right? Panorama photos to describe curvature. I am a photographer who's taking panorama photos, and when I do that, I'm only doing that to encapsulate all of what's in front of me in a straight line, to encapsulate more of it, so it goes from a JPEG image like this to a much, much, much larger image to get more into the shots. Applying that to the sky in this argument doesn't make sense. The argument is, at what point does the horizon curve or bend, just like how Zerka was saying. Zerka's point was that NASA was much closer to the Earth, and they said it was bending at a closer distance, which it did not. And he's saying it bends at a farther distance with his military background, which doesn't make sense to the first point.
My middle 60 degrees of vision, in order to see it, you have to be at 260,000 feet.
Cope, you can never see the curve?
No, you can see the curve. 260,000 feet.
Where?
Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Going back to the thing that we were saying before about the curve. If you take a panoramic view and you compress it, you can see a curve
It doesn't matter how big it is.
That curve, you can see that curve at 50 miles.
Yeah, 50 miles up. Yeah. 50. No, at 50. So just imagine, as I go higher and higher, the curve gets more and more narrow. Now, going back to 8 inches per mile squared. At 8 inches, I'm going to use your math. At 8 inches per mile squared, at 100 miles, the drop-off is 1.3 miles. Okay, we'll just do that. But let's make it a little.
You don't even have drop-off in yours.
Of course we do.
You're telling me at 200,000?
No, I'm sorry. We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the 8 inches per mile squared measuring the curvature of the Earth. It doesn't measure the curvature of the Earth. It measures a parabola. The Earth is a.
But is that visible? Is that parabola visible to the human eye?
At a certain altitude.
You believe it's visible? Because a lot of you guys say our eyes just can't see the curve.
I'm going to go with the proofs, and I don't care what other people are saying. I mean, I'm just need to listen to what I'm saying right here. Now, what happens is the 260,000 feet to see the curve. At 8 inches per mile squared, it starts to become inaccurate and breaks off from the measurement of a circle at 60 miles. So we're going to use it. We're going to use a math equation here. You're 6'5", right? You're about 77 inches tall. I'm about 74 inches tall, right? So in these measurements, how much is a 1% deviation? How many inches are in a mile?
Oh, you're saying
how many inches are in a mile? It's 63,360 inches in a mile. 1% off is.
Okay, so you just measured all the inches within a mile. Why?
630 inches. At 60 miles, you're already more than 1% off. Meaning, whatever variation or whatever error that there.
Why is there a deviation or an error for there to be a globe? Circle is a circle, bro.
It's 10 times taller than you at 60 miles. That's the reason why they keep coming up with, oh, we shouldn't be able to see this when we can see this. It's two things. The 8 inches per square mile does not accurately reflect the surface of the Earth, number one. And two, there's atmospheric compression, which your side agrees to, which is the reason why you see sunsets and the sun gets bigger. That's the reason why. Three, when it comes to, you know what ham radios are, right? You can bounce them off the atmosphere and come down. In your case, you bounce them off the dome.
Yeah,
come down. Okay, cool. You had Witsit talking about microwave transmissions for Ace High and NATO, and there's no way it should go 250 miles. Yes, it's called tropospheric scatter. That's how it bounces off, and you can go 500 miles just by doing that.
Do you really believe? Do you know what your military
Going
chain of command
somewhere
is?
with
Of course,
this.
you know, right? Because people like Rollo would say, well, if it's a secret, how did it not leak? It's a military chain of command. Only telemetry and military would know. That's it. You don't really think the military that uses azimuthal equidistance targeting maps? You don't believe the military uses our map? You think they use Mercator?
Let me ask you a question. How did the photos from Gitmo get out?
What is Gitmo?
Guantanamo Bay. Remember they were talking? How did that? I thought the U.S. military would just keep everything a secret. How does that work?
It got out like Flat Earth, the most YouTube.
No,
ever. That's right.
It got out, and it also gets blocked.
Get out. That's my point.
No,
That's literally my point.
It didn't get out. Flat Earth is nothing but a Russian psyop in 2016. That's all it fucking
Yeah,
was.
the
Russians have
Flat
that
Earth
much
is not
power in your head?
They
know that we have them
Your head because they're sitting there posting on 4chan and you believed everything they were fucking saying
So,
before the fucking 2016 election.
The flat Earth is like the ball squished into a pancake, like that. It's not the same thing. These are not the same thing. If anyone was confused about that, I'm sorry. I should have said that in the beginning. It is absolutely not the same thing. I would assume that if you are going to click on a video like this, you would understand the difference between the firmament, which I have listed right here. Firmament, which is in the Bible, rakia in the Hebrew language, which means dome, completely different than our globe squished into a pancake. So, yeah.
That's the only reason and we're even talking
That's
about
heliocentric.
there is no flat Earth movement in 1975.
Heliocentric.
And none of this shit is happening until recently. No, there's okay. Anyway,
what about 1900s? You said Russia.
Those are
In the
slides.
1900s, Russians were taught about geocentric.
hey, you know what? I'm
In the 1900s, they were taught about
for
it.
sure. Well, what I'm curious from your standpoint, curious about from your standpoint is actually I don't want to get into this because you were saying the thing about ADS, and I won't talk about that yet. How do you explain the flight from Johannesburg to Sydney taking 12 hours?
I've heard the argument. I don't remember. I don't explain it. You can have that one. Okay. But that flight you take, if you have to make an emergency landing.
There we go. Beautiful.
Oh, no, let me make it.
Yeah.
All emergency landing systems in airplanes use our flat Earth.
They don't use
fuck all from your side.
They use a flat map. They don't use your flat Earth map.
Oh no. Do they? But is there an ice wall in that?
No.
Is there the highest shoreline on Earth, Antarctica?
Okay, the highest shoreline on Earth is in Pakistan. One of them is in Hawaii, and the other highest shoreline on Earth is in Dover.
Yeah, apparently, Wikipedia disagrees with you. Pull it up.
There are 18 shorelines higher than the one in
What's the high? Well, the one that when you Google it, which one pops up? It's Antarctica.
No, the one in Hawaii is actually the highest shoreline.
Lock that answer.
I don't think
for
Wikipedia is
sure.
trying to argue
The highest shoreline in the world is in Hawaii.
point about
So
the
anyway,
shorelines.
going back to what you were saying
I have to
before.
do a little
So
research
you
for
explain
myself
it
now.
by how you think it's because of headwinds and tailwinds, or you just don't have an answer for that?
Yeah, I don't need that one's like a more boring one to me. You can have it. I know what you're trying to say, but
Yeah.
I can kind of reverse it to you. You globetards believe in your globalist model that Mike and Zerka can fuck two models in a helicopter that floats 24 hours above. Well, let's say we float 10 hours above the Earth. Apparently, the Earth.
10 hours? What do you mean?
Let's say the
Helicopter
helicopter.
for 10 hours.
Here, I can't see. Put my
Not
face
easy to
on
say
the
that
screen so I can see
atmosphere goes at
they can see my hand. Look at this.
Bro,
We're in this helicopter.
Yeah.
And we let the Earth roll under us.
Yeah.
10 hours, but we land in the same spot. And you're going to, I dare you to go to Coriolis here.
Let's do it. It's
Just say the atmosphere is moving too.
It's not Coriolis.
No, bite the bullet. Say the atmosphere is moving too.
So we're gonna go back to the
And
No, I want the yes or no. Is that
bro, your senses can feel in an airplane going 500 miles per hour, but your senses cannot feel going 1,000 miles per hour? Interesting.
atmosphere moving?
the original formation of the Earth,
Gravity
the
doesn't
proto-Earth,
slow
there was
down.
no atmosphere on it. And once the atmosphere comes,
You have density.
the atmosphere is subject to the same angular momentum as the Earth that is spinning. So meaning what
There's no
what
proof
you're
of
saying
that.
before is that the Earth, the atmosphere
If there is proof of that, how do you measure the atmosphere spinning? We should be able to replicate that scientifically.
should be going along with the Earth, because what you're doing is
I'm asking what you believe.
you're presupposing that there's something dragging the atmosphere, but there's nothing up there for.
No, you're saying.
No, stop.
You're saying the helicopter's being dragged.
I'm not saying anything's
Then why are you landing in the same spot?
relative to that spot. It's not being dragged anywhere. Relative
He's
to
like,
the
I'm saying that
Earth's
shit doesn't
motion,
exist,
I
bro.
mean, it's not
It
going
picks and
anywhere.
chooses.
No, it's not.
It just picks and chooses.
So the point is, what you're trying to say is that the atmosphere, if the Earth is spinning, should be dragged behind the Earth, but it shouldn't, because it contains the same angular momentum as the Earth. I'll give you an example.
He's just saying that you're saying that it should, but it shouldn't. That in and of itself is contradictory. He just said two contradictory things. Let's rewind.
What you're trying to say is that the atmosphere, if the Earth is spinning, should be dragged behind the Earth, but it
Right.
shouldn't, because it contains the
He's saying that we are saying that the Earth should be dragging the atmosphere, and then he just said, but it doesn't assume that. So his own logic didn't even make sense right there. Because in his logic, he's going to say that the atmosphere does move with it, but he's not presupposing that it will happen. That's a weak argument, Mike.
the same angular momentum as the Earth. I'll give you an example. If a
Angular
woman is
momentum.
pregnant and she gives birth to a child, the child doesn't fly in that direction at 1,100 miles an hour. The child has the same angular momentum as its mother when it is birthed. Just like the atmosphere has the same angular momentum as the Earth when it first emerged from the Earth.
So say
Those are not congruent arguments. I'm sorry, my guy. The replicating science, you should be able to recreate the experiment. And if you're telling me that birthing a woman's baby is angular momentum and is of correlation to the sky moving with the Earth, again, I want you to know I like these dudes, but as far as this topic of debate, that's not a good argument.
same with an airplane?
No, the airplane, whatever.
So how the hell does a plane get from point A to point B?
Because the atmosphere has the same angular momentum as the Earth. See, you're trying. So the whole
Your argument is when you're in a car, you don't feel the speed, right?
no, you feel the acceleration. Once
Yeah,
you
but
set
not
at
the
a certain
speed, right?
Once you set at a certain speed, you said this. Of course,
Right,
you feel
you
the
don't
same way.
feel it.
You're outside
You- hold on.
You disagree with that argument?
Hold on, I agree, but you're not in a car. You're on the fucking roof. Are you gonna feel motion?
No, if you're
That's the crux of the Earth.
Right, I understand Zucker's argument. He's saying that if this moves at 1,000 miles per hour and you're standing on it at 1,000 miles per hour, you don't feel it. Which pre-assumes the argument that if you're in the car and you're accelerating around 60 miles per hour, you don't feel it as much as if you were outside of the car. Inside, outside. But in this argument, we are on the outside, and the atmosphere presupposes that this argument's falling apart so fast. Damn. What side are you on? Comment below, man.
If you are, but no, again, when you're in the car, the atmosphere is moving against you. That's not what's happening.
Are you feeling motion on the roof of the car, Mike? Or is gravity just helping you?
One more time. If the angular momentum of the atmosphere is the same angular momentum of the Earth, then the atmosphere is going to move with the
What
Earth.
is angular momentum?
It is the answer.
I'm asking you to feel motion on the roof of a car.
No, because you know if you were
Try this. Why don't we try this?
If you were on the roof of a car, you wouldn't feel motion, except what you would feel is the wind in your face. You wouldn't feel motion.
Really? So if I'm driving and I just do this, you're not going to feel that?
No, but you would feel it inside the car also. You feel it inside the car also. Oh, whoops, boom. Yes, you would feel it inside the car and outside the car because inertia is conserved. Angular momentum is conserved. The problem is what the flat earthers do, and I've seen like round earthers try to have this debate, is they forget this point. The angular momentum is conserved in the entire.
I'm gonna try to help Mike right now, man. Let's see. I didn't even do this for Zerka. Angular momentum. A bunch of variables. Let's go into the definition of it. Angular momentum. In physics, angular momentum, Wikipedia, is a vector quantity that expresses the amount of dynamical rotations present in the electromagnetic field of the light. While traveling approximately in a straight line, a beam of light can be rotating around its own axis. This is rotation, while not visible to the naked eye, can be revealed by the interaction of light beam with matter. There are two distinct forms of rotation of light beam, one involving polarization and the other involving waveform shape. These two waveforms of rotation are therefore associated with two distinct forms of angular momentum, respectively named light spin angular momentum and light orbital angular momentum, OAM, SAM. Total angular momentum and matter is conserved in electromagnetic fields and force fields, and matter is conserved in time. So this is the science that he believes is going to prove that the atmosphere moves around. Okay, so right now what I'm understanding is that presupposes that the atmosphere is light, but the atmosphere is gas. Angular momentum of light in physics, angular momentum analog linear motion. Angular momentum flows around remains constant. Angular momentum both conserved. We can watch videos about this later, but this just seems pretty far off at the moment. I could do a little bit more research on it. Bunch of variables, bunch of science, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really help shit.
Entire planet and everything that is
You shouldn't have to
there.
Again,
wait, at what point do you magically go high up enough that you're into outer space? Do you what?
375,000 feet. Now here's my question for you. Ready? Do you remember those jet streams that Whitsitt was talking about, was blowing the things back and forth?
Debate?
No, it was your debate that you did with him. My question is, GPS, you're going to tell me, is not satellites. That's fine. We'll give you that. You think it's a bunch of weather balloons, correct?
No.
What do you think? Where's GPS come from? And by the way, GPS does work in the Pacific.
I didn't say that ever in my life. I don't know much about GPS. I always talk about Wi-Fi.
Right, but where's GPS?
I said Wi-Fi. No, I got to ask you because you're going to talk.
I flew over Pacific.
You're attacking an argument that's not even mine.
But it is a flat Earth argument that they have to answer.
All right, but it's not mine because if you said you got a list of my arguments. You said you got a list of mine arguments.
He's attacking me for arguments I didn't make. I haven't said nothing about NASA, nothing about Mars, and then I'm doing the same thing here.
No. Look, I know you said you wrote down my positions.
Yes.
That's a Wi-Fi, not a GPS. 97% of Earth Wi-Fi is done through triangulation, grid towers. That's why when you leave to go to the mountains, you lose connection.
No, but your GPS still works.
Okay. Are there satellites? How do you not have satellite coverage in the fucking mountains?
But you do. You don't have satellite.
I lose it on here. I lose it.
One more time. Cell signals are UHF. The GPS uses a chip that triangulates your position between 4 different satellites. That is not UHF.
Do you believe that Wi-Fi is going to... Do you believe
UHF.
Do you believe Wi-Fi is...
That's true. Somebody should have been able to see a satellite being built, see a satellite being shot off into the air, be able to take pictures of a satellite in orbit, in rotational orbit, and we should constantly be seeing the descension of satellites. I challenge you right now, any of the millions of potential viewers watching, have you in your life ever seen a satellite do any of those things? Be built, shipped into the sky, descend from the sky. Do you know anybody that works on satellites? Where are they? Can you get a telescope right now and find me one? Take a picture of it and put it online. The Samsung Galaxy Ultra is so strong, it should be able to take pictures of the moon. Satellites would be a lot closer. Send me some pictures of some satellites in Earth's rotational orbit.
Through the grid and underground sea cables are not.
No, the actual
Is 97% of it?
there's a modem in here, whatever, a router in here.
You don't buy into this?
The modem is beaming UHF signals into my phone because I've got the password for this Wi-Fi.
I didn't ask that. I said, do you believe that 97% of Earth Wi-Fi has nothing to do with anything in space? You believe that?
I'm talking about GPS.
But I know you don't want to answer it.
What? No, to do it through.
Oh, you don't want to.
GPS.
Oh, am I allowed to ask him?
GPS satellites.
Can you please answer it?
Information.
So you're the scientist.
GPS satellites have nothing to do with my cell phone.
I said GPS is not my argument. Wi-Fi is.
Living
You're
life
talking
through a
the wrong
textbook
argument.
is a sad state
So
for
tell me for Wi-Fi.
my
Do you
opinion.
believe Mike Sartain on camera, 97%
He's
of
an
Earth
academic.
Wi-Fi is done through
That's what it seems like.
triangulation grid towers, underground
true.
sea cable?
Wi-Fi is information. It's not triangulation. Triangulation will show your location. But
So you don't. Just say, look at the camera and say, I don't believe it. Just say, I don't believe
I
it.
don't understand your question. When you want data,
I'll say this.
Wi-Fi is giving you data.
Okay, I'll say it has
Why was that? If you want location,
nothing to do with your CGI satellites and your islands.
oh, forget it. I didn't say anything about that.
You can't. You're frozen.
You have to explain. You have to explain how the fuck do we get GPS?
I'm not the scientist. You're the scientist.
How do we get GPS on top?
You're a scientist who
How
don't
do we get
believe it.
GPS on top of Mount Everest? How do we get GPS in the Pacific? So
I don't even have GPS here in the mountains. I try to find a teenager in the woods.
we don't have GPS here, really? Okay.
We're not in the mountains.
Where's the interesting?
We're not in the mountains.
There's mountains all around us. I have a GPS location.
Hold on. You're telling me if I go to a snowy mountain, I'm gonna have the same fucking.
No, you're gonna have the same location. Remember, global positioning.
It should be the exact same as satellite.
No, it isn't, dude. This is.
You know what Destiny said? Destiny
Okay.
said.
This is a very fair argument. He's saying that if satellites are out here rotating around the Earth, you should be able to shoot your phone to the satellite, and no matter where you are, the coverage would be equal. But within the Firmament model, we have all of our Wi-Fi on the ground. But the higher up you go, we don't have Wi-Fi. And that's why the signal's weaker. It's a very good argument, Zerka.
Here's the thing.
Destiny said there's no satellite floating above a mountain, but satellites orbit.
Yeah, they
We should have. You should have
one more time, because I have to. I'm not here. I'm here to debate you.
We're poor nation.
I'm here
That's
to
people just want
Here's
to
the
be
problem.
right,
Here's the problem. In order to get that level of data coverage, you need higher frequency, which has more attenuation. Even flat earthers agree with this. If I have a higher frequency beam, then it's going to get more attenuation. Since those satellites are 300 to 800 miles up, it is not a good idea to use them for data. Now I've used an Iridium sat phone while flying over Iraq, and I was able to make calls with it via satellite. But it is very, very it is not a good way in order to transmit data to do it that high.
Satellite.
One more time. My argument was about global positioning system, which you do not lose when you lose Wi-Fi. You can still see your position. If you don't believe me, the next time you guys are flying on an airplane, open up your map thing. It'll still show your position. It'll still show you that long. But it won't.
What the fuck, bro? Okay, where you are on the globe doesn't answer the question as to why you're not getting a stronger signal of satellites from the sky shooting down to the ground. This is a weak argument.
I'm not talking about Google. Yeah, you don't dare talk about that because those taking pictures by Google.
Any map whatsoever. Again,
Why did Google?
You're doing it again. You see what he's doing? Again, I said no satellites, no NASA, and I'm still going to make my point.
GPS.
No,
How is Google Earth not GPS?
I'm making your point that your ridiculous idea that it's fucking balloons flying through the air.
I never said balloons. I never said balloons. He did it again.
But every single
I said underground sea cable and triangulation. That's why
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, underground sea cable, that's the internet. Triangulation, that's how it's used. The balloons that they're talking about is that satellites are just like the Chinese spy balloon. That was a satellite. Those are satellites. They just stay within the atmosphere. They never actually go into outer space. They just hover. But those that do crash and fall, we've discovered it's almost exactly like the Truman Show. You can find videos online of absolute bullshit satellites, but they're nothing like traditional NASA satellites that you would think about. They're not there. They can't be found. If you could find one, send it to me.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
No, Wi-Fi's not
All right,
GPS.
let's stop
Wi-Fi's
Wi-Fi.
not GPS.
Let's just talk about GPS.
Okay.
Tell me how Google Earth works.
I don't care what Google Earth.
You don't care?
I don't care.
Then you're a scientist.
No, I'm not.
You're a genius.
I'm a scientist.
You're
using
astrophysics, bro.
science.
Oh, let's start up.
Tell me about
I'm
GPS.
using-
You're like a genius, bro.
I am using the Bible. I'm a Christian. He's using science. He's a scientist. I use science as well in my life. Obviously, we all use science. Science is a secondary to the truth. God created everything, then science.
You are.
I know. I'm winning.
You're
winning over an astro.
You're fucking. You're better looking than me.
Yes.
You're funnier than me.
And it's okay.
Bro,
What
you
is
have
this?
way more followers than me. Okay, for sure,
Zerka's the clown, but he's using clown behavior. That's funny.
for sure. But you're not winning because you can't explain.
Hold on.
Hold on. When he loses the point, he goes, "Yeah, I concede that point." He's conceded 3 points, and you guys still fucking believe the argument.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but those points were not good
I got you on the
Didn't care about
meat
that.
and
There was like,
potatoes.
What are you
I was
talking
like-
about? No,
I got
conjecture.
you on the meat and potatoes. You got me in a
Oh.
peanut point.
No, I
You really think we're waiting?
You really
Peanut?
you
No,
really
fucking
think the fact
potato?
that you can't.
Fair
Well, I
enough.
got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you like satellites, right? What the fuck is Elon Musk setting up into that? Into
He thinks it.
This is a very good thing. The theory here is that Elon Musk's mother, Elon Musk, Satanist, shoot rockets, phallic symbols, at the dome as a disrespect to God, just to hit the dome, just to hit the firmament, to try to destroy the firmament, just like in the Bible when they use the Tower of Babel to go and climb out of the firmament into the kingdom of heaven. So it's essentially Elon Musk, SpaceX, Space Force, all of that is essentially like vandalism. Look into it. It all fits within the firmament model. It doesn't necessarily fall within the space model.
It goes into the Bermuda Triangle.
with the
He thinks it goes into the Bermuda Triangle. He thinks he lands them on the Bermuda Triangle and it's all CGI.
No. I don't, Mike, let me enlighten you. Hold on, Rollo.
Wait just a minute.
Rollo.
If you do your research, there is a space aircraft graveyard in the sea. You can actually find the traditional space shuttle from when you were a child. Those kind of space shuttles are in the ocean, which makes no sense. They should have been dismantled if we dismantled all that. But you can find space aircraft carrier graveyards in the ocean because they shoot them into the ocean.
SpaceX to send
Rollo.
what? To send what?
The whole thing is to take
First of all,
taxpayer money.
all rockets, if you look at their trajectory, they arch because Operation Fishbowl Dominic in Latin means of the Lord, fishbowl of the Lord. It was to launch rockets against the dome to crack it. Now look at this.
That's why it means
Rollo.
that, literally.
No, Rollo, just a sec. Right now, just smile. I'm going to put, hold on.
Right now, he's a distant people.
Just look at the camera, Rollo, right now. Get Rollo on camera. Rockets are real. They go up. Most of them are launched in Florida into the Bermuda Triangle. But now let's say that. Now let me this. Get the laughing. Get the laughing. Ready? I'm going to drop the SpaceX clip on them laughing.
Okay.
My chat knows what I'm doing.
There you
And
go.
when I drop this clip, you guys have to respond to the clip.
Definitely.
And this
Definitely
clip
respond.
is not something it's not reaching. It's gonna nuke your belief
Ready.
in these rockets.
So if you're curious, Rollo, what happens?
SpaceX
what
S-10
happens
rocket,
is
S-10.
because again, the atmosphere has the same angular momentum as the Earth. Once you launch from Cape Canaveral and the Earth is going to, it's rotating east to west, you're going to arc over to the east because it gains you speed as you leave the atmosphere. That's the actual answer. All right. Anyway, go back to.
What are you putting up?
Wait,
That
how
doesn't make
did
any
so if they had that much fuel?
That does not make sense. Arching a rocket should not gain speed. Going from down to up should be the way that you gain speed, just in the way that you do drag racing versus NASCAR racing. Drag car racing literally goes faster. Nobody goes faster around the loop of NASCAR racing. They decelerate around the loop. Mike, your arguments suck. Your arguments are weak as hell.
Fuel to go to the moon. They didn't have rockets coming back. How did they?
I
didn't know. Rollo, I gotta know. How did they come back from the moon without a rocket?
Okay, so in order to get into orbit, it's 5 miles a second, 17,500 miles.
But they landed on the moon, right?
Let me finish. So what happens is, what happens is
1.6 Earth's gravity to the moon, right?
Yes, correct. You would cut in, and you would actually get a gravitational boost to leave to go back.
Right.
So
how much fuel would they need to go up?
Most of the fuel would be coming back. But here's the part you don't understand, because you don't understand.
You mean going, not coming back?
No, coming back. You need most fuel coming back because the gravity.
That big fiery rocket launch they do to go up, they would have to do the big fiery rocket launch to go down. He's saying that they just jumped, caught in orbit, and got sucked right back in through the process of gravity. That works in the movies, bro.
Gravitational assist from the moon is 1/6 of.
I know. To get up there, how did they do it without a rocket?
What do you mean how? Without?
How did the lunar rocket?
There's no friction. Like if you let me ask you something. Just humor me.
There's no friction.
In our vacuum space model, if I'm going 100 miles an hour in this direction, in 100 years, how fast am I going to be going?
100 miles per hour.
It's 100 miles an hour. It's a constant. It's Newton's third law.
I know, but you're not LNM. How is this lifting off the moon without any? Were you saying it has this much fuel to get up?
No, it doesn't need as much fuel. It's 1/6, and it's a light.
It doesn't need as much fuel because it's lighter. Interesting. Let's think about that. It needs tons and tons of fuel to launch off our super globular hard mass, right? Is what he's saying. So it needs tons of trajectory to just shoot off of the Earth. But where it's actually lighter and you're floating now and have less control of where you're going, less control. In one sentence, he's saying that we can catch the orbit and get sucked right back in, which works for Superman in comic books. And he's asking, okay, how could you just shoot back in? And he's saying, oh, you don't even need enough gasoline to shoot back in because you could just. But his argument is
like lander. What are you talking about? Oh no, hold on. Well, by the way, we're not doing this.
What makes more sense is that we never went to the moon because we can't even do it now.
I told you we can get.
Wait, can I ask you? Do you know Buzz Aldrin?
When of course I know Buzz.
So Buzz Aldrin said on a.
No,
he said on.
In fact, the moon is not even a solid object because you can see at any point in time through a lunar eclipse that you can actually see half of it at once. If the moon was a solid object just like this ball, you should never be able to see half of the sky through it. The theory is that the moon, by the time that you see it, is formulating like a luminary plasma. Plasma is very much the same type of principles and properties as a flame. Now the moon is female, cold light, the sun, male, hot light. The inverse of one another. Actually, no, not the inverse, the opposite of one another. This is opposites. Satanists do inversing. God does polar opposites.
Ready? Here we go.
I'm going to put the clip away.
Here we go. Ready? Buzz Aldrin. What Buzz Aldrin said is a little kid came up to Buzz Aldrin and said,
No, not that. That's not the clip.
Buzz Aldrin is
the clip
alive
where
forever.
he's on. What's the redhead? Jimmy Fallon redhead guy? Conan. He said on Conan the whole moon landing was fake.
Yes, he did.
He said we faked it, but we still went to the moon. Well, we showed fake footage because ours was blurry, and they said they.
Not only that, Buzz Aldrin has said this multiple times. Like if you go back in time, I'm talking years ago, 80s, 90s, this dude has been saying that the space landing was fake. None of the astronauts that actually did it look happy when they come back and talk about it. The whole thing seems to be bullshit.
And NASA said they lost all their technology and it's a painful process.
Now, Mike is being a sore loser because he's saying deep fake. A deep fake is a term that's used to superimpose a celebrity's face on top of another person. A deep fake and an orchestrated lie are two different things, Michael Sartain. So, again, I like all of you guys, but within the context of this debate, within the context of this argument, The points don't seem to be favoring Mike right now.
You know, like
They do favor
It's a
Zerka.
defect.
wait till I
Zerka,
really
this moment in time, if Zerka had sharpened each and every one of his points to give us a little bit more layers and a little bit more depth, would be more educational. However, it's so simple to him because he can see the truth that he thinks that we can see the truth too, but not everybody can.
Does Ford built in 1965 Shelby today? Do they build one today?
Yeah.
1965. Yeah. No. Do they have the technology to build a 1965 Shelby truck? Good.
That's exactly.
Dunked on.
You said
Dunked on.
that's exactly my
Dunked
argument.
on.
If
Dunked on.
NASA is Ford and they have better technology today, why the fuck didn't they go back to like
Because they don't have the
they should be able to go.
Because they don't have the engineering to do it. There's no.
We have the technology to do it, but not the engineering to do it. You see, he keeps making those kind of points. Like his points start here, go there. It's about being right. It's never about actually like focusing on the argument, focusing on the debate. His frame of thinking has locked him into the world that he is been introduced to, and he won't leave it. It's like the Matrix. Like the mind is locked. Once you start to argue to the truth, this comes down to the fact that he wants to believe that the earth is round, which is fine. You've told that your whole life. You should believe it if you really want to. But within the context of an argument, if you want to believe it, you should be able to debate it. And that does not do that effectively. It actually does the opposite. All you did was put out a YouTube video so far, but the structure of the content didn't meet any demand.
Well, there's no reason to go for it.
There's no but the technology developed so much they could go 1,000 times.
Okay.
It's the easiest time.
Will you hold this? Will you hold on to this? We're gonna get. Once I'm through with my proofs, we will totally talk about.
And hold on, how do we see stars through a moon? Because they said the moon is cosmic plasma in the 1960s, that it's not a rock. You can see stars through them.
You're doing the thing where you're making me the straw man for your ridiculous.
You can see stars through the moon. It is a luminary plasma. It is not a rock. It can't be landed on. It's transparent. It's see-through. It's not hollow either. That whole sending a ding to the moon and all that belt thing, you can't recreate that experiment.
I never said it's made of plasma.
No, I said that. I said, no, what the fuck? I'm saying the moon is cosmic plasma, me.
Okay. All right.
It is.
I want to clarify something here really quickly because
Mike
you
is
mentioned
angry.
Operation Dominic a few times in this. Now,
Why is he
you know
angry
this
though?
maybe you don't, but my father was actually.
He's angry and calming down, but to be angry in this context, he's not angry even at Zerka. It's that the type of anger of the truth that he believes in not working. Interesting.
On the USS Lansing during Operation Dominic. There were no missiles fired during Operation Dominic. It was they were air bursts and there were surface bursts on the South Pacific, 800 miles off of the Hawaii, but it's in the Johnston Age.
Where were the surface bursts?
They were on the ocean.
Oh my God! I'll put the clip.
Here we go. There's so much evidence to show you hell. You can see the nuclear blast.
Even with or without the clip, you should be able to just simply look at and use your eyes and see. It shouldn't be so hard.
The U.S. government
I know.
used the sailors on the ships as human guinea pigs to see how the radiation. What about for air bursts? And by the way, fishbowl is the same thing. Operation Dominic 1, Operation Dominic 2, and then fishbowl. I know everything about this because I wrote a song about this for my band Trial of Ascension called Dominic. It's literally that's what I wrote about. My dad breaks away for about 20.
Rest in peace to.
Here we go.
Rest in peace to Rollo's father, but.
Hold on, Dominic. Go look it up. I literally every Veterans Day and every Memorial Day I put something out for my dad because he was a part of Operation Dominic.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll put it and you can respond to the clip. But Admiral Byrd is the first person to travel to Antarctica, and he said there's more land southward, 180 degrees.
Okay, so here's the argument. In the flat Earth, not the flat Earth, the firmament model. Within the firmament model, there's 4 quadrants. There's 4 huge quadrants, and the land that we can see at this moment is one of the 4 quadrants, just like on a grid. If you ever learned it in school, it's, quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. There's quadrants, and right now the Earth and the Moon are rotating over this quadrant, which is usually referred to as our realm. Now, as the Earth, as the Sun moves and rotates around it, slightly rotates and opens up more Earth while simultaneously not being present at the current place, freezing that Earth. Ice Age. So what happens is that the Arctic walls, aka global warming, which is them not wanting you to know that more Earth is opening up that you can go to right now, which is why they fight so hard to keep you away from it. Admiral Byrd attests to seeing new land being uncovered because it's constantly happening. The dome encapsulates 4 quadrants of the Earth. Only one quadrant at a time is being occupied by the rotational orbit of the sun, whilst the moon follows.
Away from magnetic north is southward. You circumnavigate east to west like a finger on a fucking plate.
And there are thousands of videos of people flying over Antarctica. There's a video right now of Mr. Beast flying over Antarctica with 155 million views that just came out a month ago. There are so many videos
to the camera. And
Flying over
not only that,
Antarctica.
you said
Flying
that there's a
over.
fucking ice wall. Really?
It doesn't.
It's a shoreline.
How do
It's a
penguins
shoreline.
get over this fucking ice wall, dude? The whole thing's not an ice wall. There are shores already there. There are shores. Then they have to get into the water. There's shores on Antarctica. There are killer whales.
Water inside.
There are killer whales that go up to the shoreline of Antarctica. It's not one continuous shoreline.
So when I post the video of a continuous shoreline of a helicopter that travels for 1 hour, you're gonna say it's fake?
What do you mean?
I will post a video of the shoreline, the ice wall.
We know that there's a shoreline. I didn't say it was a shoreline. I said it wasn't a wall.
But
I
you
said it's a
disagree
beach.
with Admiral Byrd.
It's a beach. There's a parts of that are a beach. You're saying the whole thing with.
And you're saying the longest treaty ever held, the Antarctic Treaty, means we can go there?
You can go there right now already. Okay, everyone stop what they're doing. He's
You
doing.
can go to 1% of Antarctica.
He's winning
You
a
can't
horse.
actually
That's why the sun is
and
fake, bro.
it's $20,000 to even go.
The sun is fake, bro.
No, the sun's not.
Listen, one more
You
time.
believe the moon's a rock.
You got the Zerka money. Let's fucking go. Let's do
You're
it.
not allowed, Mike. You're a military guy.
We can.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll go. All right, 2 seconds, bro.
Absolutely.
That. Hold on.
And one of the circles is $20,000
Put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. Not only will I go, bro, you can buy a weather balloon. I'll go up in the bid.
No. Let's go to Antarctica.
And all these, weather
But
balloons.
what we had
Let me get it to Antarctica. I'll go up in the bid.
Let's go to Antarctica.
The imaginary F-22s and F-16s that are come shoot me down.
Bro, what the field looks like.
Military base. You can't even have a military base there.
In Antarctica,
I used to be at Alston Air Force Base. I used to be at Alston Air Force Base in Elmendorf, Alaska. You can't take off aircraft with 15 knot.
Alaska is
There's
not
a difference
Antarctica.
between
It's worse in Antarctica. You can't take off with 15 knot crosswinds. There's only one country in the world that has 11 aircraft carriers. There's you're the one cope. There's no military bases down there.
There's 53 nations signed a military treaty.
He made a direct argument at Zerka. Now the anger's coming out. He's accusing Zerka, which is now leaving the topic of the debate, which weakens his arguments because they're falling apart.
The treaty, all the treaty states is that no one country can take over Antarctica. It doesn't say civilians.
So you're telling me that
civilians can go to Antarctica.
fights for you.
Civilians can go to Antarctica. They go all the time.
They can only go to the peninsula.
Stop, everybody.
You can only go to
Stop.
the
Do
peninsula.
what you're doing, guys. And I want you guys to look up.
That's a $20,000 trip he's talking about. And $20,000 to see a fucking penguin at a peninsula.
Again.
You're not allowed to go
Guys,
deep.
hold on.
You can't do operation deep free.
Consider this.
Let's up. Will you go to Antarctica?
Yes. Yes.
Hell yes, I'll go to Antarctica.
And how much does it cost? I know. You want to know?
If he goes,
I know, but do you know how much he has to pay? For one person, do you know? I'll post on my Twitter to humiliate.
I'm going to we accept this challenge.
No, we're doing Antarctica. Bro, you're going to pay $20,000 now. You're going to pay $20,000.
Let's get the views, bro. Let's get the views.
No, we're going to Antarctica.
Bro, no.
$20,000, and we're going to say we can't even leave.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Not only are we going to do that, we're going to get a drone, and we're going to go up like 30, 40,000 feet in the air, and you're going to see Antarctica.
All right.
You're not going to see
Show
No, you want not up 40,000 feet.
I'm
You're like,
speaking
oh,
about
wait, look at this.
There's the footage like
All right, let's see if I can get that up on the screen here. Okay. I won't be able to get it up on the screen in that way. Let me continue playing the video, and I'll find another way to do that. Give me a moment.
People in Antarctica.
You think they're allowed to explore?
Yeah, they can do. Yeah, they do. He literally climbs like 3 or 4 mountains. He climbs a mountain.
No one can go all the way southward.
No one can stop him because there's no fucking military bases in Antarctica, dude.
All right.
There's no military bases in Antarctica. No, here's the thing.
Want to bet money right now? Let's bet $1,000 right now. Let's bet $1,000 right now. Bet me $1,000 Australians going to Antarctica didn't get stopped by a military ship on YouTube.
No.
For $2 million. Let's go.
There's no military base in Antarctica.
What?
No military base.
So all the military waters.
Military base in Antarctica.
So you admit all military waters around Antarctica are all of that is being surveillance.
But it's surveilled. I mean,
Why?
the whole planet's being surveilled.
So those Australians,
The whole planet's being surveilled.
I'm going to post
Why
a video
there?
tonight. Those Australians that went into Antarctica that they're like flat Earth memeing, they get stopped by a military ship.
Ready? Here we go.
And it says turn around or
Okay,
we're going to shoot you out.
Your flat Earth disc.
You don't buy that.
Your flat Earth disc.
It's not a disc.
Okay, whatever.
Put in the basement of
He
the
still thinks flat
Firmament,
Earth
basement of the
is
firmament. In order to
God's
do that, your
firmament.
flat Earth
Yes, go on.
basement is 24,900 miles across.
Nobody knows that.
What are you talking about? Of course, even flat earthers agree that it's
How would a
24,900.
flat earther know how big
It's not
the
flat
Earth
Earth.
No, because he would go from
That's
one
the
end to
third
the
argument.
other. What are you talking
That's
about? We can
the
circumnavigate it. Why can't you see it? It's still a circle. It's not unexplored land. You can get to.
It's
And
confusing.
people have been to every edge of Antarctica. So here's the
Well,
thing:
arguments.
if it's
24,000
24,000 miles across, and you multiply that by pi, even flat earthers agree with that. Then that means the shoreline of Antarctica is 75,000 miles across. But there's a yacht race they do every motherfucking year, and the people get around it.
Who does that yacht
75 days? There's hundreds of people that do
What,
this.
around Antarctica?
And Antarctica. And here's the thing, bro. They don't turn in, they turn out. Because there's no inward concave.
Really? So what about
of Antarctica.
the flight trails? How airplanes fly straight fucking line?
No, if you
know what I'm talking about?
It's globe. What's it called? It's Great Circle.
All emergency landing on airplanes only makes sense on our maps. They make no sense on yours.
Ready? Here we go.
The refueling.
So here we go. So I do air refueling. That's what I did for a living. So I'm gonna ask you a question. We take your flat Earth and we put it on a regular.
Wait, you were in the international?
Huh?
Yeah, you did fly it. Where did you fly?
Iraq and Afghanistan. I've lived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me when you saw flat earthers leak the footage of the straight lines, but they don't do this, they just land, refuel, an emergency landing.
That's not true. That's not true.
Those straight lines you debunked?
Ready? I have 75 emergency landings in a
No, not you.
170 time.
There's 200,000 airplane pilots in the Discord who said, yes, that's real.
They're not.
And they're lies?
I'm just telling you they're lies. Yes. So here we go. Now,
What do they gain?
if I were to
What do they gain for protecting your government?
they're first off, they're anonymous on your Discord server. And number two, they're
So
not.
they
they're
gain
not-
no money. Exactly.
Right,
They make no
right.
money.
It's probably one guy. Here's the thing.
My side makes no money. Your side is
Your side
protecting.
makes a tons of money.
Well,
You told me you're gonna make $50 million on YouTube, dude.
Yeah,
Just
for
listen,
dating.
Zerk.
Yeah,
For dating.
Here we go.
For dating.
Here we go. We're gonna take your flat Earth and we're gonna put it on top of a sphere. It won't fit because your flat Earth is 25,000 miles across, and our Earth, our globe Earth, is 8,300 miles.
true, yeah.
So it won't fit.
As
So
soon
let's
as
make
you
the
have to
Earth.
see
Let's
that,
make a
that's
sphere. It's
probably-
not the Earth, and we'll
you might not
forget
do
gravity because you don't
substance
believe in gravity.
back up
Let's
with
make
your
it
argument.
100,000 times
Possible.
bigger in area, and we put that flat Earth on top of it, and then we climb over the ice wall in Antarctica. What would we see? We would see the surface of the sphere. But to us, it would look flat.
Picard said it's flat.
No.
That's edge.
We're
An
doing-
upturned edge.
we're-
But
we're-
you're
we're
going
doing-
against Picard,
We're doing a thought experiment. If I take your flat Earth and if I took a flat Earth and I put it on top of a sphere that's 100,000 times more area than the Earth, when we come over there, and let's say you and I were we were to avoid the treaty and somehow make it over the ice wall, and we go over there, what would we see? We would see what looks to us as flat.
So wait.
The sphere would look flat. The sphere would look flat. The sphere would look flat if it was 100,000 times bigger than the Earth.
Oh,
And if you know
wait.
okay, good.
No,
How about 100 million times bigger than the Earth?
Bro,
and we put it on top of there.
Listen.
What, would it look flat then? No, I want you to say to the camera that if we had it.
I've played with basketballs many times in my life, and the sphere has never looked flat at an above angle. This sphere, at this moment, well, maybe on a camera looks flat, but to me, right here, visually, that does not look flat. That looks like a ball. Camera, maybe, but right here, it's clearly a ball. Now let's look at something that looks flat. This notebook, for example. This notebook, when I look at it, looks flat. I see all the surface. This ball looks like a ball. This flat surface looks flat. Yet again, very, very weak argument, Mike.
An object that was 100 times bigger than the Earth, and you were standing on it, you would be able to tell it was a sphere. Go ahead.
The easiest answer. We fly around the Earth.
No, bro.
It's not that big, bro.
Bro, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You should be able to say that fucking 30,000
No, you need to answer the question. If you had something that was 100,000 times bigger than the Earth and you climbed over the ice wall, you would not be able to tell that there was a curve. Yes or no?
I like your thought. Let's stop right there. So you were saying that 50 miles.
50 miles.
Just say you can never see it. That's what he's saying. You can never see it.
260,000 feet.
If you saw the curvature of the Earth, would you? If you saw it with your own eyes, would you believe?
Absolutely.
You would. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the fucking challenge for all the flat earthers.
Yes.
Let's do this. This is a challenge.
We've already done it.
By the time this goes live, okay, the Virgin Galactic space plane goes up 53 miles up, so you would be able to see it.
Correct. That is why it goes 53 miles up.
It only costs $250,000 to go on as a ticket.
Only 250,000.
Yeah, if your guys are so bloody sure.
So wait, how high does it go?
All right, so back to the realms that I was speaking about earlier. The actual reason why global warming is a problem for the people who hold you in the agenda. Check this out. I actually had to take this out of a private conversation and bring it into the BibleWars Facebook. Go to BibleWars.com/Facebook. This circular realm right here would be North America, South America, Australia, China, Asia, all the places that you know. In green, the white symbolizes the orbit of the sun and the moon. So sometimes for the different 4 seasons, 1, 2, 3, 4, the sun and the moon are rotating in those circles, and they rotate depending on where you are seasonally. Now, over time, what happens is this realm leaves and the sun starts to go over there, and it melts the polar ice caps, revealing new land like Admiral Byrd said. And now, within this firmament, there's more land than you could have ever imagined. And the elites above you know that, which is why they have military bases from all 54 nations waiting for you right there. And you can't go there. People that say they've been to Antarctica have been to Antarctica on a boat and looked at it from the boat. They don't get to go there. And that is the argument that Zerka is making, and this is an illustration. So no matter what you are doing on God's firmament, you are guaranteed to freeze over time. And this happens, I believe, over a period of 25,000 years, but I have no proof of that. I don't know the numbers. However, it happens in real time, and it is happening. Check it out, take a look, let's go back.
$53 miles. It's about 270,000 feet.
I will be launching a Kickstarter. If you are so certain of your conviction in the
I'll do that. I'll get into that. I'll get into that easily. Okay. So you and now look at there. Look out.
send John Sartain into space.
That's the thumbnail. And look how pathetic it is that they need 250,000 to prove it's all.
How about this?
You need 250,000.
How pathetic is How pathetic is it that they could turn all of science on its head if they just went up one time? They could turn all the science on its head. All they had to do was go to Antarctica. They had to fly up.
All you got to do is get 20,000.
All they had to do is go to Antarctica, get a drone, and fly it over as far as you can fly those drones 50, 60 miles in, and you'll see nothing but fucking ice because Antarctica.
It's so obvious it's a ball.
No,
You're right.
I never said that. I never said it was obvious.
He's doing this debate because it makes
Wait.
me angry.
If I was arguing, Glenn, hold on, Glenn. If I was arguing for school square or triangle Earth, he would wipe the floor with me. Why is an astrophysicist losing to me? Because of the truth defends itself. First page of Genesis, there's a firmament.
Genesis. I'm losing because of Genesis. I'm not first off, I'm not. No. Second of all, you're trying to win because of Genesis.
No. I'm saying that literally it's an attack on the Bible.
It is.
Again, I don't even use the Bible to win. I use scientific method.
You haven't used any. Yeah, I just gave you the Bible. Okay, that's number one. Number two, every time you're losing.
Carl said I beat you in that one clip.
Yeah,
the Catholic debate. I'll show you.
Every single time you know you're gonna lose a point, you just lose it, and then you're just gonna blow.
No, because you're forgetting. Peanut points don't convince me.
Again, you say it's a peanut point.
Peanut point.
And he's right.
Give me a potato point. Right? Give me the why is the Earth round?
Here we go.
Potato.
Here we go.
Round pill.
Brown pill.
3 verse 1. Look at these boys, bro. 3 verse 1. This is fucking easy. Not for me. This is not a joke.
No, I don't.
Come here, Glenn. 3 verse 1. Pull up your chair. He needs backup.
Again, you're John Zerka. You're so.
We got the moderator trying to win. We got a 3 verse 1, and I'm wiping the floor with them. Hey, we're not editing any of this. Editing is illegal.
Why would we edit any of this? You're not winning.
3-1. This 3 verse 1. We got the moderator heated.
Zerka is right.
Hit it.
Zerka's
No, put your face on camera if you're going to do it. Put your face on camera if you want to be tough.
Don't load it. Like this question.
It's in the context of an argument and a debate.
100% yes.
You choose to accept.
And you'll never do it. You'll never do it.
We'll go up with them. If we get over 250, if we make more, if you guys want to send both like and then we'll do that too. Okay, we will get. You should still go on Virgin Galactic and send both of these guys.
And while you're at it, you can also raise money since we've only dug 8 miles deep, but he believes there's a mantle of stuff. How deep have we dug? Like, you believe in a core, right? You haven't even broke through the crust. You believe in that shit.
But where do volcanoes come from? I'm just curious.
Right. Because I can't explain. Because I can't explain volcanoes. There's a fucking core. Give me a break.
I didn't say there was a core, but you can't explain volcanoes.
Assume if I got.
This is so.
Hey, why is the sky blue?
This is so.
Ready?
Ready? Here's what the sky's.
Why is the sky blue? Look into sky ice. Research sky ice. Sky ice is blue. The color of frozen helium or oxygen, I'll have to look into that, is the same color as the sky, blue. Look into sky ice. He's about to say the sun reflecting off the ocean. There's so much green of the earth. The sky is never green. The argument is going to be weak.
It's blue. The sun, the sun emits light, and the sun emits light towards the earth. The atmosphere, O3, absorbs red. The spectrum is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Blue, indigo, and violet are absorbed by the atmosphere, which is why the sky is blue. And the red, orange, yellow is the color we see of the sun.
So that was a good argument.
That's really that does a 50 right there.
I'm not saying I agree with, but for his point, that was
everything.
Do you know if your girlfriend because of dopamine chemical fire?
Oh, bro, see. I want to know. Why do you have sound effects for when he changes the subject?
No. This is a 1 second. This is a 1 second change. Would you ever look into your girlfriend's eyes and say, honey, I just love you because it's a chemical reaction? You're a scientist. This is a
neurochemical response. I think it's both.
You think there's a spiritual connection?
We're going to get into Christianity later if you want to, because I'm going to surprise you.
Well, I'm not leaving. This is a million clips.
Let's go. Ready? All right, here we go. So the thing that I was going to ask you about before is...
Yes, we'll be sending those...
Wait. You never answered, do you believe that the compass is a flat earth instrument?
The compass it goes on lines of magnetation. It aligns the...
I need a yes or no. I'm not Hillary Clinton, bro.
It's a flat earth instrument? I don't think so. It's a flat earth instrument.
Where's the South Pole then?
The South Pole is opposite from the North Pole.
But you're making my flat earth instrument argument.
Why? No, because it's split. You're making mine because we...
So, again, if the North Pole is here, at a tilt, the way that they say it, because it can't be straight in their model for some reason, it has to be tilted. If the North Pole is here, the South Pole should be here. But you cannot follow the North Pole to the South Pole. You can go the opposite of the North Pole. And within the firmament model, if the North Pole is up here, the South Pole is all around it within the terms of a dome.
Can you look at a compass
And
and see
three
south?
different places in the southern hemisphere. You look to the south and
where
you
is
see the entire fucking sky rotate around one southern pole. You are making my point for me. There is one southern point.
Is there a compass that points south on Earth?
The compass. Okay, so you
Just say no, bro. What the?
Okay, so
why do you want to humiliate
for those
yourself?
for those of you who are watching here? I'm not here to debate.
Hey,
I'm here I'm not here to debate. I'm here to educate. So here's what's happening. It is not pointing north or south. The compass aligns along a line of magnetation, which, by the way, can only magnetic north.
Yeah,
which, by the way, which, by the way, no, it points north and south. Which, by the way, only exists when you have a dynamo, which is because the core of the Earth is rotating at a different speed than the fucking crust, which is why there are lines of magnetation in the fucking first place.
The way that I've been
Now, going back to what I'm saying, it does not point north. It aligns with the lines of magnetation. And I can prove it if we were to go up to where magnetic north is, where in Canada, if you were to get closer to it, you would start to see it changing direction very quickly. That's why we have magnetic variation. As pilots, every pilot here, even you just supposedly 50,000 flat Earth pilots, you know the fucking lines of magnetation are, and there's magnetic variant because the North Pole is not the same as the magnetic North Pole. And why would that be? Why would there be a different magnetic North Pole than the North Pole if the Earth is fucking flat? And the answer is because it's a fucking dynamo.
Hey guys, don't talk.
It's creating lines of
Great.
magnetation.
Dude, don't let them do that. You're doing great. Why are you guys talking over him? He's fucking pleading, bro. That's so fucking rude. Did you hear that? Sounds like, hold on. But hold on. After you said, Rollo, please. I'm about to. That whole thing you said, which was accurate,
more eyeballs
really begs the question: does Mike Sartain believe you can go? Someone can invent a compass that points south.
No, yeah, you would.
Someone can do that on Earth?
Sure, you would take the you would take the other end of it and it would go south. Because let's ask any of these guys. If you go to the southern hemisphere, does the compass still work? Thank you. But it was pointing north. No, that's the point. You're so far away from the magnetic North Pole, and it still works.
But you're saying a Chinese lady can tell the compass that points south.
It's not pointing north. It's aligning with the line of magnetation. By the way, here's a real mind fuck if you guys want to do this. If you go north of the magnetic north, but you're still south of the North Pole, it points south. What the fuck? You can look it up for yourself because magnetic north is different from true north, and that's something we learned.
Okay, but I just want a simple.
Can someone build that compass? You need it simple because this stuff doesn't make sense to you. Michael Signorelli just gave up.
Politically correct to lie.
I got an experiment. Listen, I usually go flush the toilet and tell me which way the water.
Yeah, that's the next.
Oh, that's why you believe it. Yo, check this out, Chad. Rollo believes because of toilet water, that's why it's a globe. Yo, that's bigger than flat Earth. That's gonna get more views than flat Earth.
I'm just curious.
Wait, why are you saying these are toilet water? Why do you believe?
I'm not using this as a proof, but why do hurricanes spin in one direction on your inside circle, but they spin in another direction in your outside circle?
I guess because it's a globe.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. I've never seen
this is 5 times. This is 5 times.
I didn't prepare for tornado.
We're gonna call him Ray Guys. How much he fucking punts, bro?
Wait,
this is the
why are tornadoes like gray?
Pump. Does he pump?
Why are tornadoes like gray?
And some of them are blue gray. Just depends if the sun's up or not.
Oh, really? Yeah. You're actually gonna answer that seriously?
It depends if the sun's up or not. Yeah, so it has no cause. It's just water condensation.
I think 17.
Dude, why are tornadoes gray? You said that for the sky. You said you don't answer for the sky.
They change color.
I don't know. It's irrelevant. That's what I make. The point is, you're asking retarded shit. Like, hey, why is the rainbow gray? Zerka doesn't know, therefore he lost.
It's like things that prove my point are irrelevant. Things that prove his point.
No, imagine if Zerka,
bro, it's Genesis. These fucking bitches are whores because of Genesis, and the moon is plasma. Which, by the way, goes to my next point.
It's cosmic plasma.
The moon is cosmic plasma. Do you know what plasma is? Can you describe plasma?
No, but check this out.
Plasma is very much like a sun.
Get out of here. Hold on.
What is cosmic plasma? What is plasma?
Y'all boys got to be good to each other.
The point I'm making is
there's only so many of us.
In the 1960s, when the scientific consensus was that the moon is cosmic plasma, they'll never land astronauts on it. That's why the moon is translucent. That's why you can see stars. You can literally see stars through the moon during the day. I'm gonna post the video.
Okay.
The moon is translucent You can't put your foot on.
Okay, so
it's a luminary.
Exactly.
My question to you. So there's a couple
I
of
agree with
problems.
that.
There's a,
In my own
Hold
life,
on,
I
hold on.
agree
How
with
come
that.
one? How come
Walk
there's a
outside and
couple
see
of-
right
How
there.
come you
you
can see
can't see
stars?
stars to the moon.
So when I posted, well, that's a NASA video.
You can't see stars to the moon.
But I'm gonna get that video from NASA.
But I said, but what you're not seeing stars
Why
to
do
the
you
moon.
sometimes see
You're seeing
your
atmospheric
friends on
compression of like two
Facebook
different
or
objects over each other.
Instagram
You
putting together
I-
moon
hold on,
patrol
you admit when the sun is setting, it's compressed by the atmosphere, and that's why it looks different. That's what you're seeing with the star. If
Would
there's
that be the
stars,
perspective argument?
to worship.
Like the sun is setting is
Luminary.
the sun moving into like the train tracks in one spot. That's what you're saying. There's a
No,
battle.
I'm not. No,
Just
again,
illuminate
we're not
everything.
doing. I'm not
That's
allowing you
worship.
to use
Imagine.
these arguments that
No,
only
you
look like.
get
I
tripped.
don't care.
Gee,
I don't
what the
care.
fuck?
I don't care. Like you.
Wait. You earlier you said we'll get back to this. Yeah. Remind me, son.
So when you have a
Please stop worshiping the moon.
moonrise, yeah, it looks giant fucking gigantic.
Yeah. It's reddening of the atmosphere.
Please.
It looks much smaller. So you explain that how you.
Okay, so straight up, it's 60 miles. Straight up, it's 60 miles of atmosphere, so it's less refraction near the end. It's 60 miles times whatever angle you're going through. So let's just say that's Pahrumps over here. So it's going to be Vegas atmosphere plus Pahrump atmosphere plus Mesquite atmosphere. I'm
And
just making it Vegas.
it's not just that. It's also dander, chemtrails, all sorts of things in the atmosphere.
I don't know about chemtrails.
You don't believe in chemtrails, and you're not a military guy.
I'm saying
You don't believe in chemtrails. You're a military guy.
I'm saying for reddening of the moon, I don't think.
So what are chemtrails?
But we're not doing.
Oh,
this.
bro, you got a business to defend.
You see what he's doing?
I just want to know if you believe in it, or am I a schizo? You believe in it.
You are a schizo.
What is your answer for why the moon looks bigger at one point?
Same answer. Same answer. Yeah.
Yeah, atmospheric reddening, the flat earthers believe.
But there are such thing as red moons, and when you think of it, right? Well, hold on. We'll go to that in a second. But if you shine a light on a basketball, you get a spotlight. But the moon is filled when it's full. It's filled from edge to edge, proving it's its own light source. It's not reflecting shit.
Then why do you have shadows on it?
Why do you have shadows on the moon?
Why is there a dark side of the moon?
Why is there a dark
There's no
side of the
dark
moon?
side.
Hold on.
It doesn't exist. That is how I
Yes,
see it.
No.
must be.
I used
Wait.
to- I used to-
Here's what's funny. Glenn, are you the third guy after?
I'm not-
Hold on. This is getting crazy, bro.
I'm not talking about the backside of the moon.
Hold on. What's funny is you guys believe in aliens. Admit it. You guys believe in aliens.
They're not here.
Because the government wants me
I don't believe that aliens are here.
that makes me less likely to.
Hit me.
Since you're going to go Bible on it, why does Isaiah 40:22 cite the circle of the earth? Why does Proverbs 28 also references
What
the
was
earth's
Satan
circularity?
as the serpent?
Why does Psalms 23 also reforms to the
Nephilim
sun?
must be able to take on
Ready to
Nephilim,
get
but to live with someone like
humiliated, Glenn? Ready? Repeat that. Ready? Because the circle is fucking flat. You got destroyed. You admit he got destroyed. Admit it. That's the third player. You're done, Glenn. Mute, Glenn.
Spherical earth, then from the death of
Says a spherical earth.
Oh, yeah? What about the four? Jesus has shown the four wings of the earth. Four wings?
winds of the Euphrates rivers, also in Revelations.
Bro. If you're actually a Christian
This is
that
conjecture.
believes in Helios worship, Helios is Lucifer, dude. It's your sun worship. That's why these guys are nihilists.
Okay. Listen, first of all, I'm not a nihilist, but let's keep going.
Do you have faith? So I don't know about.
I'll come on your show and we'll talk about Christianity. Listen, the plasma. So it's would you said it was a cosmic plasma?
No, I didn't say that. 1960s scientific consensus that the moon was.
Again, it was not a consensus that the moon was plasma.
I'm going to put the clip to make it look stupid right here.
Here's the thing that's going to happen. By the way, one clip does not show 1960s consensus.
Yeah, what if it's one of the most famous scientists?
Here we go. So here's what happens. There's two problems. Number one, if it's plasma, do you understand what plasma is? It's a fourth state of matter where you excite all of the electrons off of there, so it's extremely fucking hot. Which means there would be no dark side of the moon. Why is it when we have a half moon, one side's dark and one side's light? If it was plasma, it would be blindingly bright. You said it's its own light source, so why is there a dark side of the moon?
Because I'm not God. But check this out.
Oh, no, wait, you God, you can see the light side. Why can't you see the dark side?
The moon fills up from the month. cycle where it's charging.
It fills up.
Yes.
So you're saying that the other side is dark because it hasn't filled up.
There is no other side because you've never seen the other side of the moon because you say it's turning with the earth. You fucking lost again.
No, what do you mean?
Do you say, wait, the dark side of the moon?
You're saying the far side.
We can see the dark side of the moon?
Far side.
Which far side?
You're confusing far side with dark side.
Right.
Far side of the moon we've never seen because the moon.
That's right. You better do that.
Well,
you better do that.
Mike Collins has seen. Mike Collins has seen it, but
Mike Collins has seen it.
Yeah, Mike Collins has seen it.
He wouldn't even say that he went to the moon on a Bible.
No, you're talking about Neil Armstrong. Mike Collins was running
the other astronaut that lied that they ambushed him with the Bible to say swear you went to the moon.
Neil Armstrong. It's not.
No, they did it to old astronauts.
Another question.
Okay, well, I really got to finish.
Knocking them out of the
I really got to finish this. The plasma, even if the plasma wasn't charged, which is ridiculous because that's not how plasma works, what would happen is you would be able to see it easily. So now, here's my next question.
Hold on. You said when charged and electrons, do you believe that the universe is electromagnetic?
Part of it is I think there's four fundamental forces. Flat earthers only believe in two.
But if everything in the universe is electromagnetic, why are the stars? Ours, in our model, they're electromagnetic. In yours, they're burning balls of gas in a vacuum.
Yeah.
If everything's electromagnetic, why do you switch it up there? Why do you switch it up there where you can't go?
You're saying it's electromagnetic. So what do you think you don't think gravity is real?
Well, what part of the universe is not electromagnetic?
Gravity. So we're going to go over. We're going to go over
the math model.
We're going to go over it real quick. Ready? So everyone follow along with me. And by the way, I'm going to put a link to this video in there if you want to go.
Gravity is their big G. That's their God.
So big G or little G. Forget gravity. We're going to go over your model, which is this supposed Richard Feynman experiment that allows for there to be a downward pull because of electromagnetism. You said electromagnetism.
I don't even know that.
Okay, but you don't believe in gravity, and all flat earthers either believe.
But because I don't believe in gravity, doesn't you can't ascribe to me a position that I
do. Do you see this? Like this guy just squirt.
If you don't believe in gravity, you gotta believe you're on a turtle mat.
What do you believe? What do you believe? I'm okay, ready, got it. Okay, so
I'm saying
I don't know.
I'm gonna do this for my own. This is not against you. I'm gonna do this on my own. Ready? This idea that flat earthers have that somehow there is an electromagnetic charge that pulls us to the ground. This is what Whitsitt believed.
Okay, then I believe it. Whitsitt, go.
So here's what happens. If I were to take paper filings and I were to take a balloon, if I drop the paper filings, they fall down. If I drop the balloon, they fall down. If I then take the
balloon falls down.
The balloon. It's not a balloon of helium. It's a balloon of ambient air. Okay. The balloon falls down. The balloon falls down.
No. When you said balloon, can you give us a helium balloon for this one?
No.
Why not?
No, because I'm trying to make your point for you. Ready? So here we go. Wow. So we take the.
Maybe get a balloon with rocks then.
We take the balloon and we fill it with ambient air. It goes down. Now I take the same balloon and I rub it on a carpet or I rub it on my head and I put it over the paper filings, and the paper filings stick to the balloon.
So why is the helium balloon right?
Here's the thing. So now here's the problem. Either the balloon is positively charged and the paper filings are negatively charged, or the paper filings are positively charged and the balloon is negatively charged. Either way, one of them is the same charge as the Earth. When I drop the balloon, it falls again, even after I have the paper filings.
So isn't this kind of like a peanut truth?
There is no possible way that electromagnetism pulls all of us to the ground because some of us have positive charges and some things have negative charges. So the whole idea of electromagnetism.
Something else.
No, that's what it's either that.
Electromagnetism
does not have to be
because I know more about flat Earth than you do. So here's the thing.
Really, you don't.
They're
doing worse than destiny.
The thing is, the two beliefs that they have is one that the entire plane goes up at 9.81 meters per second squared. Which is ridiculous because after a year,
people explain this through density. Everything seeks its level. Like water seeks its level, everything also seeks its relative density. It's really super simple. Helium goes with helium, floats. Bricks go with bricks. It's how God created it. It's very simple. There's nothing to really think about there.
Going the speed of light. And then the second belief is that there's some electromagnetic force that's coming down because you have to discount gravity, because if you don't discount gravity, then the regular model of physics makes sense. And nuclear fusion is not burning. What you're thinking of burning is a catalyst, a fire by a fucking lamp, by logs, where you burn it and you're combining oxygen with fucking carbon, and then you make carbon dioxide. That's not burning. What we're talking about is actually nuclear fusion, which is an exothermic reaction. That's a different kind of burning that we're talking about. And yes, that will happen in a vacuum. And you do believe in nuclear fusion, correct?
Wait, how does that?
Does that not happen, or is that not also?
If you're in a
How does the
rocket
atmosphere
flying
protect
through the
us from
medium
that
of
vacuum?
space, the vacuum, how do you change directions? What if a boat pushes off water, and they're playing off of atmosphere?
Such a great
What
question.
the fuck are they pushing off of in a vacuum?
Such a great question. You're either leaving fuel behind, or you're actually condensing two materials and shooting it out the side. You have to leave something behind. Tons of gases. You can mix gases and you have a catalyst.
So you're telling you the wrong shit.
You know this is real. You've seen a fire. You've seen a fire. A fire is a combination.
Not in a vacuum.
You've seen a fire, which is a combination between oxygen and carbon dioxide.
That's in our atmosphere.
Correct. But if I do that and if I put two gases together, like say hydrogen and oxygen, and I have a catalyst, then it will jettison out particles, which will third law of Newtonian physics. For every action, there's an equals and opposite reaction. I have to leave something behind. What I'm leaving behind is matter that's from those tanks, that liquid fuel.
So
I can run out with a can of hairspray.
Yes.
Rollo, is he convincing you that it's a globe right now? Be honest.
I'm already.
That's not an answer, and I needed that clip. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. I needed the uncertainty.
This too. This just did. Okay. Okay. So this is Proverbs from the Christian Bible. Proverbs 8:27. Compass. Since we were talking about compasses for a while. Compass, Hebrew, is the same word as circle in Isaiah 40:22, as well as compassed in Job 26:10. And all three clearly refer to the roundness of the earth, especially the spherical nature of the sea level.
Flat.
Sea level.
Flat.
You're gonna embarrassing yourself. Rollo, I gotta destroy him. You heard where he fucked up. Don't protect him. Don't save Rollo. Look at him, save Rollo. Don't save him.
The word level has 2 meanings. Stop it. The word level. Okay. If a building is off of its foundation, it is not level. And it has stop talking. If a building has 2 floors and it's off its foundation, it is not level, but it has 2 levels. It is off its level, but it has 2 levels. He has
That's not even a word. That's not what I was talking about. One more level. He said a different word.
Sea level refers to the altitude. The sea level refers to the altitude of the sea, not the fucking flat.
I'm not talking about level right now.
Okay, what are you talking about?
You didn't catch what he said?
What? Oh, the circle thing? Whatever.
Is a circle a sphere?
He said it's
a circle a sphere. He's convinced a circle.
It says sphere in the Bible.
Rollo,
it says sphere in the
Bible.
Bible.
It's flat. It's a circle.
It says sphere in the
Rollo
Bible.
doesn't even know what a circle is.
It says sphere in the Bible. It says sphere in the Bible.
Give me a sphere. No, give me a sphere. Give me a sphere. You read it.
A sphere in the Bible. You said spherical.
You said sphere.
And now you make me do some work. Video. Want to read that?
Yo, can you highlight the word?
Dang.
That's circle, Rollo. You don't know what a circle is? The circle is fucking flat.
I'll read.
What the hell?
All three clearly refer to the roundness of the earth, especially the spherical nature of sea level.
Yeah, because all water seeks its level, because it's flat.
It doesn't make it flat. That is because of gravity. What?
Isaiah 40:22.
Glenn, you better be on a mic. Is he on a mic?
Yeah, he's on mic.
Isaiah 40:22. The word in the Hebrew the word in question is kum, which is also found in Job 22:14, which in many versions is translated as bolt. For example, the New American Standard Bible reads, "The clouds are hiding places for him, so that he cannot see. He walks on the bolts of heaven." Clearly, bolt carries the sense of something three-dimensional and is given as a primary meaning of cope.
It's a cope.
He's reading Google. He's not even reading scripture anymore. You're reading Google. Can you please cut it when you're done scripture? When you're saying the explanation, read scripture and stop. Don't disrespect God. What the fuck? You read scripture and then start reading the website's opinion? What the fuck? And hold on. Just do it again, but do it like honestly. Do it in good faith. No, you start reading the article. Why did you do that? And then it's my turn with the Bible. I'll go with scripture.
Okay.
I'm going to nuke it. He knows where I'm going.
Where you're going to win me over. Let's go.
No, I'll never win you guys over because it changes your worldview. That's a trauma to you, Rollo. You're not going to be traumatized right now because then you have to start coming towards scripture. You don't want to do that. You guys want to fuck bitches and do red pill shit. You guys, they're never going to come this way. And you're doing it. You have a one what if you're living correct.
Who sits above the circle of the earth and its inhabitants.
I do completely believe that statement. I do agree with that statement. It is a trauma for people to go through truth, because to be lied to and deceived in a system that was designed for you, which is, I believe, referred to as bondage before birth, or born into bondage, that when you go through that type of a lie and then you see the truth, it's disassociated. It fucks with people. It's hard. It hurts. It's the Matrix. It's very difficult for them to understand and for them to see. It is a trauma, a micro trauma.
It's like a grasshopper. You can stretch out the heavens like a curtain and spread them all.
That's the firmament. Exactly, the firmament. You're saying, that makes my point for me. Stretches it out like a curtain. That's the firmament of the stars. And how are you a Christian don't believe in a firmament? And speaking of, continue so I can keep doing this.
It's hilarious, bro.
We're going to need more astrophysicists for the next one. Bring 10 more. Hold on. Can I go to a part of scripture real quick? I'll go in 2 seconds. Werner von Braun, the creator of the rocket, on his tombstone left Psalms 19:1. Read 19:1, and then you can start coping. The inventor of the rocket left on his tombstone the Bible's firmament dome, because he knew it's flat. Operation Fishbowl, Dominic, that he thought he debunked.
There were no missiles fired.
And here you go. That's his tombstone. Where do you think that's going to the Bible? Is that going to the dome? When you open a Sprite, it goes, psst. That's a pressurized system. That's a pressurized system.
No missiles fired during any of those nuclear tests. They all are one.
Psalm 91?
Yes.
All right. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship.
And show it his handiwork. There's more.
His craftsmanship. Not.
The point is, it's when you said spread like a curtain, what does that mean to you guys? A gas curtain? Like, what the fuck?
Bro, I'm not sitting here to debate the Bible. We can have.
You brought it up. He's your guy.
I didn't bring up.
Your plan is your buddy.
I didn't bring up the
You
Bible.
guys are 3 verse 1 and
Ready?
you lose
All
and you
right,
need that.
let's get back to the whole thing here. Let's get back to the whole thing here. Okay. Real quick, can you pull up a UN map for me, real quick? Well, UN flag. Pull that up.
Or Meteorological Association, Maritime for navigating the waters, and UN all have the same map, and the map leaked. I leaked on my Twitter. The map was found hanging in a United Nations building, and for some funny reason, it was identical to the first.
Can you show a UN map on the thing real quick?
Biblical clock.
Listen, no, I need a flat Earth. I'm sorry, flat Earth. I need a UN flag. A UN flag. I need a UN flag.
Are you guys gonna have visuals on the debate?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think
one other thing. I just want to point this out really quick. You have maybe you've been fooled. I don't know if this is the case. Probably is. The statement of Tesla saying that the Earth is a round is not true. That statement,
do you want me to post it?
That you absolutely can. That's all inside. Believe it. That statement was.
What about when he said you can have free energy from cosmic ether?
One more time.
You don't believe in the stars? Hold on. You believe in? Hold on.
One more time. One more time. Before we get to that, one more time. The thing about the Earth being a round was attributed to a meme that was a post that was a flyer that was put into a flat Earth Facebook group in 2016. It is not true. In fact, they even contacted the Tesla Museum in Syria. That statement never happened.
Because I already explained how
known
it
liars.
for you.
But he's also
And
Sir
that
Will
is
Bain
just
in here.
the same ground that I showed you
If he never made that statement, you should probably move away from that. I never said the Earth was round.
When Tesla said, like you guys believe we're
It's
solar
dumb.
capsules, like we get vitamin D from the sun and all that.
Oh yeah, it helps us create
So what?
cholesterol. Yeah.
So if you believe in you get it from the sun, why not the stars as well?
I don't know. Here we go. Ready? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, how many sections is that divided into? Is that 33?
Can you
Is
show me
that
33?
33 Masonic Federal Reserve and Treasury?
This is so great. This is so great because this
He's
is
already
like
started with a Freemason.
he literally threw the fucking alley-oop for me to dunk on.
And I'll post
Ready?
on my Twitter
Beautiful.
the Freemason
Beautiful.
flag that Buzz Aldrin put on the moon.
Beautiful. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Show me the 33 lines.
That's 33 sections. 1, 2, 3. You want to go over?
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
I don't know
40.
what the point of that
Show me the
argument
33
is.
lines.
This doesn't prove.
This is one of the most incredible things that you guys sit here and listen.
This was just retarded. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm going to go back over here and show you what that actually is trying to show you. The realms. It's just a deceptive lie in front of your face. It's like, hey, we managed this. We're showing it to you. You don't know. We spend all your time trapping you like cattle in a cage, and you can only have that much of the earth. But the rest of the earth is for us. This is that. Boom. Looks a lot like the UN Nations, right? United Nations flag right there, baby. That's what they're doing, boy. All right, let's go back to the debate. The debate is great. I hope that you guys don't feel like I'm bullying either one of these dudes. I do respect these guys a lot. I'm having a lot of fun watching the debate. It's very important to have this kind of debate. It's very productive. It adds value to the world. It's intriguing. It makes you think. And that's all we have. You got to get out there and start thinking about the land. The foundation beneath your feet. Why do you exist here on this plane? What are you here to do? In fact, I would go on to argue that the fact that they made these lies is so you would have no structural foundation to the world that you live in for them to easily control you because you don't even know where you are. Damn. What do you think of that? Let's see. Just read Genesis. You can't have one because one directly contradicts the other. You can't have one without one disproving the other.
Listen to him say there.
Wait. You got 40?
No one checks.
You got 40?
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here we go. Ready? We'll go right here. It's not 33. There's no way to find 33 in there. He said that there are 33 Masonic lines, not spaces, 33 Masonic lines on the UN flag. No one fucking checked him on this. It was the most crazy shit I've ever seen. It took 5 seconds for me to look this up.
Not that 33 thing like Gary, the numbers.
Yes, it's exactly the same thing.
You don't believe in it? You don't think Freemasons have power on it?
Maybe they do, but that's not my point. My point was,
But hold on. Was Buzz Aldrin an admitted Freemason?
I don't care. I'd make sure that's for me.
You don't
It
care
doesn't make
about
no,
this?
my argument about the Earth being flat or round has nothing to do with even humans being on the Earth. It is a function of geometry.
But wouldn't it be a deception?
It's geometry and no.
Wouldn't it be a Masonic
You should
deception?
care.
But
Absolutely
it's a
should
coincidence.
care.
What you're
It's a
doing,
coincidence. All astronauts are Freemasons?
what you're
does
doing
matter.
is conjecture, and what I'm doing is showing evidence. And when I show evidence, you go, okay, I'll give you that point, but that's a peanut point. Even a peanut point that breaks down your entire model, like the idea that we can see the Southern Cross from 3 places in the Southern Hemisphere when we're facing south.
That's not a peanut point. That's a bigger one.
That is the end of the argument.
That's your only good point.
No, it's not. Okay, ready? Here's the next one. Ready? The moon. You think that the moon is cosmic plasma, right? How far away is the moon from us? Remember,
What did they say, 240,000?
no. How do you think? How far do you think?
I don't know. I'm Zerka.
Okay.
I fought the bitches and beaties.
See, again, do you see how we change gears?
Because I read your book, Rational Male.
We change gears. All right, so the flat Earth, not consensus, but most of them am I seeing, it's about 4,000 miles away, 3,900
That's what they
miles
say?
away. Yes, they believe. And there is one more time. Flat Earth model. Again, I know more flat Earth than you do, dude. I'm telling you.
What did he say?
He said from the Earth to the moon in a globe model is 38,900 miles.
No, Mike, you know why Mike is good? Because he's literally asked to think of the heliocentric version and the geocentric at the same time.
Yes.
So he's way better than Destiny or anyone. The problem is, you don't want to answer some questions. Destiny,
I will at the end.
the one setting you have to.
So here's the problem. So here's the issue. So now, no matter what, this is another place where this completely breaks down. There has to be a finite distance that light travels. Has to be. What you guys say, what Winston says is, I'm not super.
That light?
Light has to travel a finite distance. There's no way.
Does it travel parallel?
to light rays travel parallel. Yes or no?
If you have something big enough, then
It's always got to be outside of your realm of existence.
so,
If it's big enough to where we can never test
here it is.
then light starts doing
So look at this big soft light right here. Inside of the soft light, those are parallel lines, but there are lines that are not parallel that are outside. So meaning
You
like
can trace the lines from the sun in the sky to one point. That's what Freemasons did with a square and compass.
I don't know what that has to do with this argument, but one more time, while I'm asking the question, there has to be a fight. If we're on a disc, and in the disc you have two. This is the flat Earth model. There's
Disc
the
with
sun.
no space.
There's the sun.
Stars are fixed on a dome.
Totally, I'm going with you on that. But above it, the sun. For those of you who don't know, the sun and the moon float over the disc, and they float during the summer.
No. Some flat earthers say it's within the dome. Some say in between.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if it's by the way, some flat earthers don't think it's a dome. They think it's a superfluid. And
Firmament
the sun floats on the inside.
You know why I think it's a superfluid? Because the space
Earth
X
is
rockets,
heart.
they're splitting.
Earth is an anagram for
I'm
heart.
going to post a video.
Okay, that's fine.
It's going to blow him away.
Good. Ready. The sun either
Take the H at the end of Earth, turn the point of heart.
during
The
northern
center.
hemisphere summer. Flat
Heaven,
earthers believe that the
earth,
sun goes
hell,
around the
heart.
inside circle.
So it's like this. It contracts like this.
And then during the winter, it goes around the outside circle, which there's some massive problems there because you still have one sun for an area that's 3 times bigger, which means South American winter would be 3 times colder than North American winter because you have one source to heat 3 times as much area.
Look in the flat Earth model. The cold areas are the middle of the ring, the north, and the southward.
That's fine, but that's the same thing for ours with the.
No, it's not. You're just getting the sun is hitting the Earth sideways. So how can you have a 24-hour sun if half the Earth has to be casted in shade?
No, it doesn't.
Really?
It doesn't.
You earlier
We're gonna show.
So you believe in it?
We're gonna show. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference. My point is, if we're standing on the true North Pole. And we're tilted towards there, and we're at some kind of elevation, like on a mountain. Yes, I could see. Maybe you could see if there was no obstruction, you could see a 24-hour sun. Bro, that doesn't disprove anything because the top of the
You're saying the sun's not hitting the
sun. The sun processes like a dreidel. I know you hate them, but like you know what I'm saying. It processes like that. If it's on there and it's facing towards the sun, no matter in all directions, you would see the sun during the whole day. It's possible it's a 24-hour day. That doesn't disprove.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't.
Which side of the Earth is casted in shade?
One more time. What you would see up there is you would see the sun go around the horizon. If you were at the North Pole and you saw the sun go directly over, that would disprove it. But you don't. You see the sun go around the horizon for 24 hours.
No, but it doesn't it doesn't go under. It literally goes like this.
It doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't, that's just your perspective on the surface of the North Pole.
Oh, it's perspective. Now you're joining ours.
In Antarctica, you wouldn't say, well, then how is there nighttime? You would admit.
When I saw a 24-hour sun and then it's banned off the algorithm, you can't search for it. But it's on ericdebate.com and buried. You said it's buried like the wits of flat Earth. When I saw the flat Earth 24-hour sun for the first time,
How do flat earthers then explain the equinoxes? Like
he knows better than that.
I know how they did it, and it doesn't make sense because what happens is when it's a 24-hour day, when it's in the outside ring, the sun has to go 3 times faster. You remember the pi 3 times 1.14.
It does left the moon though, right?
So the area that it's going, it has to go 3 times faster. The problem is the surface area is also 3 times as much, and the sun doesn't get 3 times hotter. So what happens is winters in Antarctica should be like Arctic. Winters in Australia should be like 40 degrees below zero during the summer in the northern hemisphere because it's receiving so little sunlight. That's the problem. From a thermodynamics perspective, there's no way because you have 3 times as much surface area in the outer ring of flat Earth than you do in the inner ring. So that's why it doesn't work. Here's the problem. The other issue is flat Earthers believe that electromagnetism is what holds the sun and the moon, and the sun and the moon are at the same altitude, and they're floating around each other like this. Okay. And they just go around each other. They can't explain. How do you explain eclipses? I'm just wondering. How do you explain eclipses?
Well,
they're on the same side of the Earth. The sun and the moon on the same side of the Earth.
The black sun cannot be explained, right? That there's a third entity, the Rahu.
Okay, so do you think there's a third entity? Got it.
No. The ancient Mayans would talk about a black sun during an eclipse,
It's
right?
underneath the
because
Earth.
the moon literally fades translucent, then transparent, and literally, depending on which eclipse. No flat earther can explain what's happening. All we are seeing is it's not bigger than the moon. You have to admit.
What do you mean?
the sun 93 million miles. It's just so far away.
It is so
Hey,
far
Chad, it's so far away, but it's so big that it actually perfectly eclipses. It's just a golden.
Right, okay, here we
That's
go.
the biggest
We have-
fucking
we have-
bullshit I've
Exactly.
ever
We have
heard.
one
I
object that
completely agree with that, Zerka. I completely agree with that. How is the sun 93 million miles away, but perfectly aligns with the moon? It makes no sense. They're the same size. Use your eyeballs. Use your brain. Use the telescope.
So you guys can do some math here. You can do your own math and do your own do the calculations on your own. One object is 238,000 miles away, and the other object is 93 million miles away.
Million.
How do you
The
calculate
sun is
millions of
93
miles
million,
away?
and the
How?
moon's right here.
Yes, correct.
How?
So
And it
what-
perfectly eclipses. Are you like
Bruh.
so
our models are
They don't-
giving you?
they don't-
in your
they
in your model,
It's
in
the
your
same
model,
size,
why
bro.
are they the same
That's why it
size?
eclipses. It's the
Who
same
made them the
size.
same size?
That's
Because
the
in your model, they're exactly the
You're
same.
asking me
Sun,
why
moon,
did
eclipse,
God
same
do that?
There we
size,
go.
bro.
That's the fucking dumbest question
Yeah,
I would have
imagine
heard.
if it was-
In your
imagine if this was 100 billion times
let me
bigger.
let me
It
answer.
doesn't-
They keep cutting me off, bro. Yo, hold on. No, I'm gonna forget. Glenn,
Imagine
let
if
me
I put a
answer.
basketball in front of
He
his
said
tennis ball.
why? I said
You would
Big
be able to see
G.
the
When
basket.
I asked him, he
would
said
never
Big G
eclipse.
is fucking gravity. He has the same mirrored answer. It's too stupid to
What are
realize.
you talking about?
You say it's gravity, that's why it's so much bigger. Oh, the sun
Come
is
on,
like,
bro.
That's you are explaining it with
Come on,
your
bro.
religion. You don't even realize
on.
what's happening. You're saying gravity
Let's
is
go.
a big God. I'm saying God.
Oh, come on.
It's literally not answering why it's bigger.
You're confused. We're having a flat Earth versus round Earth debate.
But I asked earlier, why is the sun bigger? You said because of gravity.
That means if you are arguing the flat Earth side, you get to invoke Genesis and I get to invoke physics. How is that against the rules? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because it doesn't
Physics is secondary
explain
Genesis.
how the sun's bigger. How did that explain it?
Because it's got more mass.
Holy shit.
I don't understand.
You want me to read what all day? Oh, the answer?
Why does it? Wait. Why does it have more mass?
Because during the creation of the solar system, it just has more mass.
Why? Oh, it just has more mass. That's great. Say that on camera. It just has. You can't explain it because you're answering God made it that way. That's what you're saying. Because it just has more mass.
But we see celestial bodies that are multiple different sizes.
But why is it bigger? Why is the sun?
Why is Ganymede bigger than fucking Mercury? It's just it happens.
Exactly.
It's a coagulation of fucking things.
But why is it a coagulation?
No, my point is
Because when you peel that onion,
my point is
you come to me.
Hey,
My-
if you're
my
just
point
joining
is
right now, I
your
need you guys
answer
to
is
start
no more better
commenting.
than mine.
Put
And
some
I'm
comments
trying.
in the
He's
thread
not
right now,
getting it.
chat.
Onion is too much.
And
Throw in some
number two,
comments.
it's actually not the
Let me
same
see what you
size. It's
think.
almost the same size.
But why?
You can actually, it's smaller. It's not, it's
why?
It's coincidence.
But why?
It's smaller. The moon.
But why is it
The diameter of the moon is smaller than the
Why?
diameter of the sun.
Why? Why
It's
is it
random. It's random, just like what
random?
You're saying it's
I'm
because
saying God. He's saying random. He doesn't get what's happening. You're going to be humiliated.
No,
if
you
don't
don't
bite
know what's
the
happening.
bullet.
Your answer is not better than mine. Your answer is the
Yours
same
is
thing.
that God of random.
No,
Mine
it's-
is Christ.
Okay, that's fine.
God of random.
Hey, will you real quick? Will you point to me the Bible verse? Will you point to me the Bible verse where it says that God made the sun and the moon the same fucking size? Dude, no, you're sitting there invoking it.
No, I'm saying
After the fact, you're saying it's right.
from scripture.
After the
I never
fact.
said it's from
Because
scripture.
that's not
I
from
said
scripture.
because I can't answer it, I can't answer God's gnosis. That's the point.
Wait, what?
You can't either.
What an incredible
Why is the
shit.
sun larger?
I
Because it is, John.
I
I
can't-
might start in because it is.
I can't.
That's not good enough for me, bro.
No, I said because of gravity.
Imagine if he asked me,
because of gravity.
if he said, why do they perfectly eclipse? I go, because they do. He would fucking chop me up. He wouldn't laugh. You know, you got better than Silver Slam. I got to go. I'm saying that's so unfair. Wait, Rollo, is that fair? Because it is a fair answer?
No, I said because of gravity, because of coagulation of matter.
Yeah, let me know what's going on.
Reasoning here. Okay, let's see.
No, I'm not. I won with scientific method.
The scientific method gave you 33 lines on that flag.
Listen up.
I'll post that over.
Fine after I read this, okay? Does the book of Genesis or some other book of the Bible say the earth is flat? Answer.
All of them.
The Bible does not say that the earth is flat. There are some common idioms that the Bible uses that, if taken literally, might give the impression that it is claiming that the earth to be flat, but idioms are not meant to be taken literally. After all, if you tell me something outrageous and I say, you're pulling my leg, am I accusing you of physical assault or accusing you of telling?
Now I get the answer? Please. I've got it.
Almost that. Oh, let me play.
This is the easiest question all day. Thank you.
Let me play.
Okay, but when you land it, do you account for curvature? Fuck no.
One such example of this expression is the four corners of the earth. I think you already brought
Or motion.
this idiom is used only when expressing
Right,
how
it's
far
literal,
something
bro.
can travel. Revelations
Angels are
28,
real.
20.
Oh, one at a time, Rollo.
Or to emphasize the vastness of something, Isaiah 11:12. This phrase is also used simply as an expression of
definition
north,
is
south,
bullshit.
east, and west.
He's bored, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's
Because the
I,
four
when I
corners of
answer
the
the
earth
first
is
sentence,
represented
he's gonna be
in
humiliated. Rollo,
Revelation.
you're gonna be mean when I answer.
Then let me build up. Let
Within
me
the
build up
firmament
the
model,
humiliation.
But there's a whole okay. Play the circus music.
In biblical times, people usually travel with a flat map that had four corners. If you were to travel to places designated by the four corners of the map, that would indicate you are traveling all over the map. But
within the firmament model, there are four corners. In the Bible, it talks about the four corners of the earth over and over. That is the foundation of the firmament. And in Revelations, each of the four angels actually stop the wind when Christ comes back, which may or may not have already happened. That's a whole different topic for another day. However, what up, Timothy P. Southwick? Wonder if the Glober and them think regarding the Book of Job. Wonder what the Glober and them think about the Book of Job. Timothy P. Southwick, go ahead and throw in the actual verse of the Book of Job that you're talking about. You're up on the screen there. Go ahead and throw that in there for this debate. I'd like to know which you're referring to in the Book of Job. Now, yeah, when Christ is coming back, he actually stops the air in the Book of Revelation. So check that out, man.
it is still not an attempt to state a fact about the shape of the earth. Another common idiomatic Bible expression is the ends of the earth, but once again, it is an expression of great distance and not an attempt to as a factual statement. The reality is that most ancient peoples knew the earth was a sphere. The only question was how large that sphere was. The idea of the Bible teaching that the earth is flat gained traction only in the fundamentalist movement in the 19th.
Show
Oh my
us.
God!
Show us the book.
Hereditary? Yeah, please.
Where did you read that from? Where did I read that from? From
COVID.com.
We got viewers on Rumble. We got viewers on
And now check this
Kick.
out. So,
We
yes.
got viewers
Who
on
invented his
YouTube.
heliocentric model?
And
The
if you have viewers
Vatican.
on
He doesn't
Facebook,
even know it's a
let me know.
Jesuit priest who takes a Jesuit oath, not a Catholic oath. We already know this. You're getting humiliated.
Galileo.
No.
Galileo.
Rollo, now you get humiliated. You said Rollo.
Galileo.
Look at
He's just making this up. It's just Hey guys, stop the video. Look it up. It was Galileo. He's just making this up.
Go ahead. Sure, we'll post it. But from the first, what's the first stuff you read?
He's talking about Giordano Bruno. That's not the person who invented the heliocentric model. It was Galileo proved the heliocentric model.
But hold on. Glenn, you're not even in this. Was Galileo a Freemason?
I have no idea. I don't care. I'm just making. I don't care. No, here's the reason why I don't care.
And it's homosexual.
Here's the reason why I don't care if Galileo was a Freemason.
And you know what they're talking
because
I'm connecting
It's
real
valid
right now.
because
I got blah blah blah. No, I have no moon is fake. Blah blah blah. Then you guys can defend. No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I took a note. I took a note of what you guys are. You guys are humiliated. Wait a second. You guys are gonna get humiliated.
Let's look. He read it from the Catholic.
Okay, Glenn, are you serious? I answered you. I told you Jesuits are not Catholics. Get there faster.
Okay.
I told you Jesuits are not Catholics.
Here we go, guys.
They take a different
I don't care about any of that. Listen, the reason why I believe what Galileo did, and I don't care what his name was or when he was born, is because I can take a telescope myself. Everyone call me on this. Everyone can go buy a telescope.
You can see the boat go under the curve.
And you can look at Jupiter just like Galileo did, and you can
look at a light in the sky and say Jupiter.
You can visually see the four moons. You can visually see with a cheap telescope. You can see them.
You can see lights in the sky.
One more time. You can see Jupiter just like Galileo did. You want to see my notes?
It's a
Greek word for
planets are wandering stars that have a different path. Number two, we make the argument that the planets are real. They're not. Your computer generated Mars rover. You can step on the moon.
Hold on, one more. Time. Go on yourself, take a telescope and look at Jupiter, and you will see the 4 moons of Jupiter, and they orbit.
But we're telling you they're not moons.
All right,
No,
we're
That's fine.
they're just light.
I understand.
Yeah,
My
great.
point
That
is,
was- that's
all of
fine.
your
Yeah, we'll-
CGI arguments break down when you take a telescope yourself and you can see these things.
No, there is no. This is my 4th time and you're not getting it. There's no CGI argument when you involve.
I agree with you.
Nobody.
He's making my argument for me. He's making my argument for me.
When you
He's making my argument for me. He's making my argument for me.
we said CGI for when you explain the other.
Forget Mike, but
During the time.
during this argument, I have not made one reference towards NASA. I'm not talking about that. My point is, if you want to disprove this nonsensical CGI argument,
There is no CGI.
all you got to do, I'm not saying
I didn't make a
All
CGI
photos are
argument.
CGI.
with a telescope. I'm saying any kind of CGI, all you have to do is look for yourself with a telescope. And
Because you see 4 lights
Like some
around
water.
Jupiter.
you don't see 4 lights,
When
you
you
can
look through
actually
a
see them.
telescope,
You
which
can
I
see
can
my
attest to.
And they can go behind you.
What
They can go
That
behind
I'm
you.
does a
actually
planet look like through a telescope? Don't lie to them. You know that's a fucking burning light.
It looks like
like a rock?
It looks like a rock.
It looks like gas?
Just like the moon does, which is supposedly a fucking superfluid
Jupiter looks like a
plasma.
rock?
The moon is supposed to.
You're saying Jupiter looks like a rock.
You're saying the moon
Jupiter's
looks
a
like
gas.
plasma. You're saying the moon looks like a plasma.
It
You're saying
does.
The moon looks
It's
like
a lot closer.
One more time, guys. Take a look at the
Looks
moon
like
through a telescope
or
and tell
is
me it
a
looks.
lunar
You can see
plasma.
blue sky going through
Luminary has
the
the
moon.
property
It's
of
literally
light.
translucent. He's saying it's a rock
No,
with
you can.
blue sky.
That's it. One more time.
Holy shit. Wait, have you seen blue sky?
No, it doesn't go to blue sky. Does not go through the moon?
You get half the moon is in blue. What the fuck? I'm gonna post the clip.
That's the leading expert.
Wait, I never got to humiliate you. You the first, Glenn. You and Rollo forget that there's no old religions who believe in flat Earth. All 3 Abrahamic faiths talk about the Earth standing on pillars with a Sheol and a firmament. You're a liar.
Still in a firmament.
Doesn't say it's flat.
Yes.
Doesn't say it's flat.
Look at the cope. So it's on pillars. You agree?
But it doesn't.
So did I not?
It's not.
But you said you invoke scripture to say it's a sphere.
I don't.
So admit you lost, and that's not a potato point.
I did.
That's a huge potato you lost.
I did.
That's why they were doing that syllabus.
I did.
I'll never forget. The biggest.
No, they're all. These
Earth is
North American women are fucking whores.
Glenn,
That's the reason why the moon is fake. The moon is fake, bro.
He's just
The moon
attacking-
is fake, bro.
Bro,
I'm not using the.
man.
if you're going to use scripture to say
He's
it's a
funny.
sphere, and you
You're
agree,
being funny.
I don't use scripture to say it.
No, but you got your buddy here to use.
No,
you got 3 verse 1. This is too easy.
No.
Ah, there we go,
Say it's on
Timothy.
pillars, Rollo.
I'll look it up.
Job,
Oh,
bird
I
in the
don't-
skies.
What? Is it on pillars?
Dude,
So when you attack me with
my point
scripture,
is I don't.
no,
Bird
the
in the
fucking
sky,
scripture
to
is
destruction.
I
using-
don't
That's
care
saying
about the
only
scripture. My
rumor
point is the
of it
scripture
has
doesn't
reached our
benefit.
ears.
Then why
God
bring it up?
understands the
Why
way
were
of
you
it,
smart with
but
when you
alone
read
knows
it?
it
Cancels
very
out
well.
because it cancels out.
For he
No verse
views
that
the
says
end
it's a sphere.
of.
Why?
Because there's
Keep posting,
scripture that
man.
says it's a firmament.
I'm enjoying this, Timothy.
There's scripture that says it's a firmament, and scripture that says
So why did you let him read it?
cancels out. It cancels out.
So you know what you're
not
doing?
a point.
You're saying you're not on Rollo's team right now. Why aren't you letting him read
Care
it?
about teams. I care about the truth.
Well, you're
There
running
are
like Rollo because
there
he's
are
drowning.
there are 9 points.
Are you with Rollo?
Ready? Here we go.
He said,
after
this is
you-
not Rollo.
after you-
Why not we get the... Wait, Glenn, he just threw Rollo.
Bro, I need to start.
Do you stand with Rollo?
Does anyone have Narcan for him? Does anyone have Narcan?
So he's starting to leave up. You a battery Rollo.
Do enough cocaine. I can't do enough cocaine to keep up with him.
It's so obvious it's a sphere. They're so winning.
I never said that.
And you know,
obvious.
Glenn, you're a better friend. You pillars of...
Yes, a poetic
Right.
phrase.
Yeah,
That
yeah, more.
Oh,
There we go,
Shakespeare?
Timothy.
Look into
Right, so
looking at the use of the term.
and
in
he alone
context
knows
sheds
where
some
it
light on
dwells,
what
for
the
he views the
pillars
ends
the
of the
are.
earth, and
First, we
sees
should note that
everything
the
under the
phrase
heavens.
itself is
When he established the
Oh,
course of the
metaphor.
wind and
it's
measured
so
out
great.
the waters,
It's so great when
when
he's
he
getting
made a
dunked on, he
decree
goes,
for
"I'm doing great."
the rain
And
and the
it's a
path
fucking Iron
for
Sheik.
the
Out there
thunderstorm.
says the fucking Iron
Keep
Sheik
coasting,
board
Tim.
this. We're the
Keep
best
going.
of
Let's
it.
go.
I can't take enough.
Let's go,
I can't
Timothy.
do enough. That's the whole animal. Okay, fucking keep up with him. Ready? Here we go.
He can
Thunderstorm. And then he looked, and
Now
the
there
wisdom of
are
praise that he confirmed it and tested
reflectors
it.
on the
And
surface
he
of the
said
moon.
to the
And
human
reason why we
race,
know this is
the
because we can
fear
shine
of the
lasers and
Lord,
come back.
Yeah,
it is
Okay,
wisdom
so
and
how is it that
shun
before
evil, it's
1969
understanding
we would
the
shoot
earth.
lasers up there and we would get an attenuated
Keep going,
signal?
How
Tim.
do I even know this?
But how did 19? But here's the thing. Ready? One more
This is the
time.
Bible
Pause the
Wars.
video. You can look up the
This is
experiment,
God.
or you can go to your local astronomy
The earth,
department and shine
and
a
he
laser
sees
yourself,
everything under
and
the
you will get a
heavens.
light back in
When
2.2
he
seconds.
established the course of the wind
Which means two
and
things.
measured
Number
out
one,
the
I
waters,
agree. You
when
can
he
shoot
made
the
a
laser.
decree for the rain and the path of the
but
thunderstorm,
why is that?
and he looked at the wisdom and praised it. He confirmed it and tested it. He said to the human race,
on the
Which
the
said would
fear of
destroy
the
you here.
Lord,
Which said would.
that is
We should debate
wisdom,
Which said.
and to
For
shun
sure, I will.
evil
Because
is
the problem
understanding.
The problem
There
is
is
that Wood said
nothing
was
more
ever that
masculine
disrespectful
than
to me. I'd
reading
break
the
his fucking jaw.
Bible.
Why? Why? What did he say?
There's
He
nothing
said-
more
he said-
masculine
He
than
says foul
worshiping
shit to people, bro.
God.
He says Epsler?
No,
Love
he
it.
says stuff. No, I've seen
Go,
the
Tim.
video you did.
Go,
Like
Tim.
it was fine, but he's like, "Oh, okay, you got dunked on." I
Yeah.
dude, you better not. He's not gonna say that shit in the same room with me. Anyway.
You want it in person, not a Discord call?
He doesn't want me in person.
I've only done that one with him. I think he's the best flat earther. He's literally number one.
Okay, anyway, going back to what I'm saying, there are 9 retroreflectors on the surface of the moon.
Amen.
If you shine a laser at the reflectors, you get a light back in 2.2 seconds. Before that, if you shine, but if you shine it in a place that's not a retroreflector, you get an attenuated signal. Why is it that in these certain places that happen to be the same places where we landed on the moon and where other space administrations landed stuff on the moon, supposedly, why is it that we get a signal back?
I don't know. It's a globe.
There we go. Good.
How the fuck is it a globe?
No, because it's plasma.
Tim, I need you to subscribe. I need you to like. I need you to comment. Every time I'm coming on here, I want to see more Bible verses from you, Tim.
Show them the laser test and bring them.
Yeah,
You know
what a
what we should
friend.
do instead? We should take all the lasers we shine against plasma and see how many times they fucking reflect. Dude, come on, man. It's not a plasma.
Well, you're going against
Here we
1960s
go.
physicists.
The next thing, there has to be, in order for me to, when the sun goes down, it's still over the plane of flat Earth, which means if I can't see it, that means there is a finite distance that light can travel. Every flat earther I've talked to, maybe what's
Why would it have to be over?
Because what do you mean it have to be over? It has to be.
Why do you assume it? Why it can't lose its fucking look? Why would it have to be over?
Because at some point during the day, there's a
You're
sun
saying it would
somewhere.
have to touch the ground?
No. Stop. Listen. What I'm saying is, at some point during the day, it's noon somewhere at every hour. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny? I believe, because I've seen, and I'm going to post the 24-hour sun. You don't believe in that.
No, I don't care about the 24-hour sun. That's just
That's
North Pole.
That's like it has to.
No, it doesn't. It just
Everyone has to be in shade.
It's just at the North Pole. There's no way. There's no 24-hour sun in Australia.
But
there's no 24-hour sun in fucking Las
You're
Vegas.
saying that there's a part of Earth that doesn't experience a casted shadow.
No,
24 fucking hours for. You're saying
For
it's
one day.
flat.
No, for one day it doesn't do that. In the winter-
24 revolution. Get there.
No, bro. In the winter, it's 24 hours of darkness.
I
What
see
the
your
fuck does it
subscription,
matter?
Tim.
It's
I
exactly
will never
goes
forget
around Earth
this.
point. In the winter,
Keep
on
it
the same
going,
day-
big dog.
Here. And
Here's
here's the sun. This hand is the big sun.
Okay.
This part is the sun.
Okay.
This phone is the sun. As it's spinning on its axis, you're 66.6 or 23, right?
23.5 degrees.
I'll show you the angle, bro. But look at this is the sun. This is the phone, the shiny sun, and this is the Earth. As it's on its axis spinning, one side is always in shade because it's facing away from the sun.
Yes.
So how the fuck can you have a 24-hour recorded sun that never drops under the horizon?
Ready? Here is the sun. Here is the Earth. It is tilted 23.5 degrees towards the sun. See my middle finger? I'm going to rotate it. It's always facing the sun. Thank you. Dunked on again. Appreciate it. That's the end of the story. That's it. There you go. You can literally, there's the flat Earth thing, right?
What are you showing, Rollo? You're making my argument. It's not
the flat Earth back.
That's exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly.
Stop.
Because it gets contract smaller towards and bigger.
Here's my point, though.
You made my point for me.
You're making my point. You're making my point for me. That means there's a finite distance that light travels.
There's a finite distance that light travels?
Yeah, it has to, because why? How is it that the sun is over Antarctica later and we don't see it? Why is that? It's still over the plate.
Exactly. So your science got debunked.
No, I'm asking you, why is there has to be a finite distance? So
You're asking the scientist of John Zerka? Let me figure this shit out.
There has to be. So let's go over a couple things. The dome has to be at least more than 4,000 miles up. It has to be, because that's what they're
Sure, but now it's more. I've got a point.
That means that light can at least travel 4,000 miles. Is that correct or no?
Yeah, and you don't believe in the light traveling parallel.
But it doesn't matter.
Then your point doesn't matter. Your point doesn't matter.
No, your point doesn't matter. Again,
what kind of argument is that?
Light has a finite distance it can travel based on your model.
Based on your model, the light has to be shot parallel. It can't diverge. We see diverging now.
It's diverging now. I never said it was parallel.
The sun is hitting the axis of the Earth.
Correct. Because here's the thing. The sun, let's say you take this light right here. We have, let's say, 135 degrees of like different lines coming out at different rates. The sun is 93 million miles away.
You can see all the light rays. You can trace the sun. Or if you take a picture, and they go right into
So how what's the elevation?
The light rays.
Cool. You're making my point for me. What's the elevation of the sun then? What's the elevation of the sun?
Oh, because of that?
What's the elevation of the sun? You should be able to triangulate the elevation of the sun. I'm giving you the point.
What was that? There's
3930, right? 3950.
That's what they said?
Yes.
I'll go.
Okay, so
I'll go that easy.
3950. So we all have to agree that light can at least travel 3,950 miles. It has to, or else how can it get down to the surface of the Earth? And a whole side of the Earth, or in your case, a whole inner circle or outer circle, has to see that light. So it's more than that. It's actually it's like 4,000 miles, and it's more than that. It's like 6, 7, 8, 9,000 miles. So what you're saying is there's a finite distance to light traveling. Is that correct?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so here's the problem. If the moon is up there and I'm shining lights over there and you agree that it comes back, that would determine a speed of light.
No.
Why would it not?
Why would it?
What if I go there if something's 50 miles away and I go there in an hour and I come back, then I'm going 100 miles an hour. Do you not see how that works?
I don't believe in the speed of light, neither do you.
I do believe in the speed of light.
Really?
Yes.
How do you test that?
Wow, here we go.
How do you test that?
Here we go.
How do you test that? How do you test the speed
There's
of light?
multiple ways to speed of light. The first way was actually looking at the moons of Jupiter. When we look
Wait,
at
do you believe you can build, like, let's say, a plane that could do that one day?
no, you don't need a plane. You use it.
Well, no, a spacecraft one day.
No,
do you believe humans could build something that goes as fast?
No. Again, one more time. I'm not invoking space at all. You can actually take a laser and you can take a chronometer. You can put laser lights like miles apart and make them shine through mirrors. And you can take massive distances, have it come back to the same point, and you can measure the speed of light. Absolutely, you can. 299,000
The
kilometers per
fact
second.
that you scientists are so comfortable at capping it, this is the speed of light, you're comfortable?
No, but you
Are you comfortable saying that?
But you're comfortable saying there is
We're comfortable saying we don't know. We're not going, bro.
There's a finite distance, which means if there's a finite distance, what happens when I go 50,000 feet in the air? What happens when I'm at 50,000 feet? That means I should be able to see the light over Antarctica, but I can't, because maybe I can't see Antarctica, but I should be able to see the light unless there's a finite distance. And because of that, it absolutely disproves the idea that the sun is over a plane 24 hours a day. It cannot be true, because you'd be able to see the sun on the other side of the planet, on the other side of the disk. Or you're saying that light has a finite travel.
The sun leaves your perspective.
But again, perspective.
That's like saying you get
Again, end of perspective means that there is a finite distance to which that light can travel. That's what end of perspective means.
Absolutely what I believe.
Correct. So that's
Absolutely what I believe.
You have to live by that. The idea that light has a finite, but you can't ever show. There's no scientific experiment you can show where light has a finite distance that it travels.
Oh, really? Really? Was it 90% of the science Kellogg's bought and convinced people faking it?
Conjecture.
Look how he has to cut me off.
Conjecture.
Look at that.
Look at
I'm not going to have turns talking.
Look at you. Switch the subject.
Wait, the whole chat's going to be saying Zerka only gets cut off. You guys are going to be humiliated. Let me say one point.
How do we see the stars if they're so far, right? They're further to the sun from us, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're making my point for me. There is no finite distance that light can travel. Therefore, your whole model breaks down.
If we see the stars, they're like thousands of miles away. And there would be no finite distance.
Of course, but he doesn't believe they're stars. He thinks they're luminaries, so that's not going to.
And we believe that they're fixed on the fucking dome.
Which of course is not true because of you see them move and then move back, so that's not true either.
Come on, guy.
He thinks they're points of light in a dome.
Carl Jung, the greatest mind of all time, said that there's a biblical aspect to the stars.
Said that
since Tesla says we draw energy, cosmic energy from it, I could say one thing I know for certain: they're not burning balls of fart.
No, Carl Jung and Freud have not been proven by any psychological
Burning
science.
balls of fire.
Are you retarded? Freud, you're gonna go about. He's in Harvard. No,
Again,
get
you
on the
should
mic.
be able
Get
to-
on the mic. Get on the mic.
You should be able to take a
No,
lighter.
right here, right.
Bro.
You're in Harvard. You're in
Your
Harvard.
photosynthesis
Who's the
is
bug?
called-
Yes, who's it? Tell me which. Who's the bug Freud? Who's the bug Freud? Say the name. Say the name. Put yourself on camera. Humiliate yourself. Come here. You know, put his face.
People
down.
will spend more time explaining it away than
Who's the bug Freud? Oh, that's stop. Look at his backtrack.
Stop.
Look at his backtrack.
Stop. I signed up for this. He's a student.
Then what? You guys are wanting to lose.
Stop.
And why are you protecting his sides? He started it.
No.
Don't protect him. Make him a man and bring him here.
No, because I don't want to get down in roles.
Sheol, yes. And hold on. You said on Google, Rollo, you said on Google that Google said that none of these ancient religions believed in pillars. Yeah, no. But that's how they explained it. The earlier you read that there are no pillars, ancient religions believed it's a globe. I debunked you on all three Abrahamic faiths. I could go to Egypt, Mayans, I could go anywhere. You have to admit you lost the pillars point.
What are you talking about? The pillars.
He said there was no
metaphor.
ancient religion.
It's a metaphor.
He said there's
It's a metaphor.
It's not a metaphor. It's not a metaphor.
Oh my God!
Not a
Already. Let's go
metaphor.
back to the wait. The water's coming from the fucking dome of the sky is a metaphor too.
The less
Is
you
the
believe
whole
in
Bible?
metaphors,
Is the
the
water's
accurate
coming
you
from
like.
above? The water's above a metaphor. When of course you have to.
That point, if you can show me where the pillars are on this side.
Right here.
Where?
Right here. Here.
It rocks, man.
Take it up with God.
Hilarious. All right, going back to the point. I want to make this point clear one more time. No, two things. Number one, if I'm bouncing that, guys, real quick. If I'm
The point Rollo was making is that
listen.
No,
Number one, if I'm bouncing a light off the moon and the moon is 3950 away, and it takes, let's say 4,000, that means for it to come there and come back in 2.2 seconds, the moon is that means the speed of the light is about 4,000 miles a second.
Are
we all agree with that?
100%.
One more
Is
time.
that where you're capping it? 100%.
I'll do it for you. Ready? We'll do simple math.
I don't
for you.
believe it.
We'll do
I don't
simple math.
believe humans have found the speed of light. No.
Here we go. In your model, the moon is 3950 up. If I shine a light to the moon and it comes back in 2.2 seconds, that means the speed of light is about 4,000 miles a second. Does that math make sense to anyone else, or does it confuse? No. Does it make sense to you?
Not at all.
Ready? Okay, ready. Real quick. And then I go into I'd use any sort of mirrors, any super collider, anything like that. I could show that the speed of light is 186,282 miles per second or 299,000 miles per second. That is completely disproving the distance to your moon. That's number one. Number two, when I go up to altitude, I should be able to see the sun at unimaginable distances unless light has a finite distance that it can travel, which there is no science. There's nothing to prove that light has a finite distance that it can travel. But the light has to be able to travel at least far enough to get to the ground from 3950. So you put yourself in this bind where light has to travel far enough to illuminate this side of my disk, but it doesn't travel far enough to illuminate the other side. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. And you use these rays in order to triangulate the altitude. But again, what would happen? Here's the last one. Ready? The moon. Is it at least a plasma sphere? Is it a sphere or is it a two-dimensional object? What is it?
Well, that's the thing, because we don't see the other side of it.
That's fine. I agree with you. We don't see the other side of it. What is it? Is it a no, it's a dark side. It's tidally locked. It's tidally locked. Is it a sphere? Is it a sphere or is it a circle?
Have you seen NASA.gov?
Don't care.
They posted the dark side of the moon, and it's such a bad computer animated.
Is it a sphere or is it a circle?
They say it's like a spotlight, right?
So you think it's a project? So this is what Jerry,
they say
this is what Jerry told me. It's a projection on the dome. No, I'm asking you.
You think it's a rock?
Doesn't matter what I think.
There's a footprint on it.
What I'm asking you one more time: is it a sphere or is it? And it is on a dome.
Although it does look very orb-like.
Okay, cool. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to give a sphere example.
But to be all the way honest, sphere or circle,
Okay, cool. Here we go. We'll give an answer for both.
But you should do.
We'll do
circle.
We'll do circle.
I'm more interested in.
We'll do circle, sphere, and we'll do a projection. Ready? So if it's a projection or a circle, what would happen? If there was a circle on the roof of this building right now, and I was directly under it, I would see a circle. If I was on that side of the room, I would see it would oblate, meaning the top and bottom would squish together. And if I was on this side, I would see the same thing. We do not see that. At every point on Earth, we see the sun
But how does
at
the
the circle, and we see the same side of it, which leads to my second point. If the moon is a sphere and it's 3950 up on the southern pole, I should see something 45 degrees different than when I see from the north pole. But I see the same side of the moon in every single place. I see the same side.
How does a full moon perfectly fill up, illuminate from side to side if it's reflecting?
If it's what do you mean? Why? Because it's facing the sun. The sun's bright.
No, it's a little more than that. If you shine a light on a basketball, does the whole basketball illuminate, or is there a spotlight?
If you get far enough back and you have a big enough light, so let's say I have like one of those lights at a stadium and I signed on a basketball, it would illuminate the whole thing.
Side to side, even.
Again, also the other thing about a basketball is a basketball is made of leather, which is reflective. The moon is not. The moon is actually dark. One more time.
The moon is actually
Explain like the phases of
Where's
the
the sun?
No, we'll get to that in a second. But to go back to the same thing, I want to make sure I illustrate this point very clearly. If the moon is a circle, then the circle should squish when I'm in the north, near the North Pole.
Wait a second. The sun, when you were saying the sun, the sun
their
has
measure
a
is
spotlight, and you see it under the cloud.
other than the
You've
sea.
seen that hot
If he
spot.
comes along the
I
continent,
mean, it depends on your perspective, like where it
Why
goes.
does it have a local? Why does the sun
who can oppose
locally?
No.
Why does sunlight and moonlight locally illuminate only the clouds around it?
What do you mean? Because
Why only the clouds around the moon are illuminated by the moonlight?
that's where you are. Because that's where you
Oh
are.
my God, that's cold. You know that.
If it's a sphere, if I take a light bulb, the light bulb illuminates in 360
You
degrees.
believe that for the sun?
Hold on. Do you believe if I took a light bulb that it would illuminate in 360 degrees?
Sure.
So again, it is what you say, man, I looked at that light and the light's right here. He's going to stand over here and he's going to see the light in a different position. He's going to stand over here and see the light in a different position. What you're saying doesn't prove anything.
When I'm saying,
Surely he
when I'm saying
recognizes
this,
himself.
that's gay.
When I'm saying so totally debunks your moon.
Wait. The sun, the hot spot of the sun,
Dude,
you're gonna go the hot spot. I'm gonna post the clip.
There we go.
I'm gonna post the clip of the hot spot.
Peanuts. One more time.
Oh, yeah?
The whole thing. When I
The
look,
sun having a hot shadow, a shadow on the surface of the cloud.
one more time. Let's do this one more time.
It's local.
If I look at the
What
fucking
is
moon, if the moon is 3950, well, forget it. Let's say it's 40,000 feet. I don't really give a shit what you want to say this. If it is, what I should see is if I'm in the outer ring and flat Earth, and I'm on the inner ring, I should see two different sides of the moon. If it is a sphere, if it is a circle, it should compress top to bottom and squish. And I see neither.
No, I don't give a fuck. I want to do what
Red, cool.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm just doing it for your audience. I'm not here to debate you. I'm here to teach. So here's the thing.
Well, you're an astrophysicist for a bouncer to lose.
One more time. One more time. I was a bouncer too. One more time.
No, you should have stayed. You'd have been a flat earther.
One more time. I got hit in the head hard enough. I'm not going to flat earth. One more time. I just want to point this out. The moon, the reason why we see the same face of the moon all the time is because it is tidally locked and is 238,900 miles away. That fits with the model of what we see empirically. What he's talking about, either it being a circle or it being a sphere, does not fit if you look at it from different perspectives in different parts of the Earth. That also disproves. Those are the three major disprovements, not using NASA at all. Number one, seeing the Southern Cross in three different points in the southern hemisphere while facing south. I see it in the same direction, and I can see the entire celestial sphere rotating around a central point. Number two, flights in the southern hemisphere are 14 hours in one direction, 12 hours in the other direction.
Stay on flights. Stay here.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay here.
And then the third one is the moon, the one I just showed. The flights in the southern hemisphere. The answer that flat earthers have given is that there is some sort of weather pattern that pushes the flight at 1,000 miles per hour. We don't need $20,000.
Wait, how do you explain?
We don't need
If the
$20,000. We
Earth
can
is
charter a
back
flight.
to spinning, you would have to say this, but don't
Look, everyone you're about
You would have to say towards the direction of the spin. No. If you're going towards the direction of the spin, you'll land at your destination much faster than if you're going against it.
No, because
why?
Because the atmosphere has the same angular momentum as the planet.
It's been used as a verb on this show.
Ready? One more time. Because you can use Coriolis if you want. I'm not even going to say Coriolis. No, one more time. the atmosphere of the Earth has the same angular momentum of the Earth.
I like
The way that flat earthers try to
There's going to
obfuscate
be
the truth here
clips
is
of
what they say
this,
is because the Earth is spinning, that something must
if
be
you want to see where
dragging
these
because
clips are gonna go after
they're
this.
ignoring physics. Something must be dragging the atmosphere behind it, but there's nothing dragging it because there's just vacuum up
You're
there.
all going to be
When
here.
the
You're going to see
atmosphere
these
was
clips
created,
on Twitter,
when the atmosphere was
YouTube
created,
shorts,
the atmosphere was created with the same angular momentum as the Earth that the atmosphere came out of, and that's the reason why it never dragged behind.
Okay.
Now, one more time. These two planes.
I need more blow.
I may start taking blow after this.
One more time.
Apparently, we can take.
What are you on right now? That's not
we can take-
testosterone. You're on an amphetamine. I can't keep up, bro. I need a bathroom break.
We're taking blow at church. Let's do that.
Mike is doing the best out of anyone I've seen, but I gotta do the nuke.
Okay.
No,
That's actually
the nuke is
Yes. The nuke is
every single, whether military or regular flight manual, talks about a non-rotating Earth, a flat Earth. Your flight manual says the Earth is flat. And to be an airplane pilot, your own fucking Bible says, the flight manual says, you must land the plane like it's not rotating. Do not account for curvature.
Cool.
Literally, to become who you are, Air Force, you have to sign on the dotted line of flat Earth, nigga.
Okay, here we go. I might have to blank up. Ready?
It's over. What are you gonna say?
So here we go. Now, let's go back to the original the original example I gave. Do you guys remember where I say we put a flat Earth on top of a sphere?
Oh, so it's a
If you
hypothetical.
see my
It's
camera's
hypothetical.
We're going to start with hypothetical, and then we're going to extrapolate back to reality.
So when it says on a flight manual, just land the fucking
That's
plane, bro.
Yeah.
Don't think of motion or curvature, or just land the plane.
correct.
That's a hypothetical.
One more time.
Oh,
One more time. So we're going to use two examples. Number one is if we have a sphere that is big enough, we would not be able to distinguish it from a flat plane. Number one, and number two,
You assume it's flat. Landing it every time.
we'll get to that. Number two, what happens is when we look at the 8 inches per mile squared, it breaks down at 60 miles. That's where it breaks down. When you do an emergency landing, is it usually more or less than 60 miles? Do I do emergency landings in New York? Do I do them in France? No, I do them very close. In fact, that flight that came out of Teterboro, do you remember where they had the double bird strike? They landed within visual range.
You're landing on a gyroscope. You have a gyroscope, and you don't believe in flat Earth. You don't even know what a gyroscope
Yeah,
is.
of course I know what a gyroscope is.
Okay.
You need two of them in the airplane. Ready? Here we go.
hello. Where's the internet? Don't worry. Hang in there. If you guys can hear me,
No, it's an altimeter. That's
comes right back.
I forgot.
Land the thing in like.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he used visual flight reference. Okay, so now here's the point. If I was going to try to make a paper plane to hit John right here, I don't need to take it. Let's just say round Earth is real. I don't need to take curvature of the Earth or Coriolis effect into account. I would just say, oh, he's right there, and I would throw it. If John were further back, I would pitch it up and I would put a little bit more calculation. If John were moving from right to left, I might lead him. The calculations get more complicated as there are more variables. During an emergency landing situation, what you do, because I have several emergency landing situations in a Cessna and a Piper Warrior, Cessna 172 and a
Man, we were unlucky several times.
There we go.
Kidding. Not God bless him and his family.
No. They're simulated.
They're simulated. You haven't been in a
So the co-pilot. No,
I was making a joke of you dying.
What the that's hilarious.
Yeah.
The co-pilot just pulls the.
Is that Mohammed Atta?
What do you mean?
Is that the co-pilot?
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's a one-way flight to New York.
Yeah, it's a one-way flight.
That's the only flight where the Earth's shape don't matter.
So anyway, going back to oh, that's hilarious. Going back to what we were saying before. In these short distances, just like I said, where I'm throwing a plane across,
You're saying it gets more complicated.
Yeah, it gets more complicated. So let's go back to your thing. Specifically, what it says in a flight manual is it says you're to assume that the aircraft is rigid, that the mass stays the same, and that it stays symmetrical.
Now say it simply to Rollo. Read his mind.
Here we go.
How many planes have you landed in your life?
How many
really
landings do I have? Probably
anyway,
200. How many planes have I landed?
for
Two. Well, there are different versions
No
of the Cessna
confidence.
172 and Piper Warrior.
But Rollo, listen to what he's explaining to you. He's explaining
How I navigated for C-135.
He's saying to you to be an airplane pilot.
No, that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not tripping you up. He's saying that he has to assume. It says on his scripture, it literally says to be an airplane pilot, he has to assume The Earth is non-rotating to land it. He has to.
There we go. Ready? Here we go.
Roll-blooded being Zerka.
You have to
Just get him to be quiet for a little bit. Going back to the same thing. Ready?
CGI plane getting a golfing in the background. So it's gonna look like 9/11. So look at the background. That's September 11th. Look on the screen.
Going back to this.
CGI plane.
When I'm throwing the paper plane, I don't need that much information in the model. When he starts talking about what he's talking about, first off, that the mass stays the same. What happens when you burn fuel in an aircraft? The mass decreases. What happens when you burn fuel from one tank or the other? Is it still symmetrical? No. They remove variables from the model because when you're flying an airplane, you don't need those models.
So why do they add our variables?
When you fly, say the word. Ready? Here we go. When you fly over long distances and you map those out like I did, you use great circle routes. They actually do work. But if you were to take a globe and take the great circle route and then pitch your gain in latitude, you would see the great circle route and it would look like a straight line. When you look at a great circle route from directly over it, it looks like a straight line. But that is for long distances. For short distances, as we said before, inside of 60 miles, and as we proved before, and I'll put this in the chat, I'll put this in the description, after 60 miles, the 8 inches per mile squared breaks down. Yeah. When we do that, we don't need that excess information. I'll give you another example. I don't know, because I know you don't believe in the strong nuclear force. If we were to look at the formula for physics for nuclear fusion, do you account gravity in there? What do you think?
No, you don't, Rollo.
You don't account gravity because it's so negligible on atomic particles that we don't account for gravity, even though gravity has a place to do with it. Does that make sense? When we land and take off a plane, or when we drive a car, or when we're driving short distances, we don't have to allow for the curvature of the Earth. And I'll make it even.
And even the balloon. We don't account for gravity on a weather balloon.
I'll make it even more simple. When I'm flying the Cessna 172, especially when you go through flight school, you're not allowed to have a computer. We teach our pilots the most basic way to do it, using VFR, using instruments. You're not allowed to use a GPS when you first start flying. On my leg goes, I'm not allowed to carry what's it called, an iPad during flight training initially. Maybe they do it now. When I did, they didn't. On my left leg is going to be a map that is folded up, and it's got two plastic things over the top and the bottom, and this is the map of my entire route, and the emergency airfields are annotated before I take off. But that's my job to do so. That's an FAA regulation. Okay. On my right leg is going to be my checklist. Okay, it's also going to be strapped to my leg. The checklist and the map are how many dimensions? They're 2. In order for me to land the fucking airplane, they don't care about the curvature of the Earth. They care about landing the fucking airplane.
What about the motion?
That's the reason.
What about the motion? What about the motion? Why do you say it's not in motion?
Great question. Because the atmosphere that I'm traveling in has the same angular velocity, angular momentum as the...
Angular momentum explains away everything. It all comes back full circle to the angular momentum. I had such big hopes for this. Angular momentum. Let's hear it. I had such big hopes for
the planet that it's rotating.
So just say you don't need the Earth to be a globe to be a pilot. No. Say it right now.
No. What
you literally don't even have to let it to fly globe.
To fly for beginning.
It's so ridiculous.
For beginning flight, you don't need to count curvature in. But when you go long distances, you absolutely do.
Which airplane pilots
do? You don't need
to go long distances. All of them do. For long distances.
For
long distances.
I had a space flight for Virgin Atlantic. Virgin Galactic.
Yeah. But the point is, that's the reason why. Now, there's another thing that you have to understand. And that is back when we first started writing these manuals, like let's just say before 1988, we did not have the computational ability in there to put a 3-dimensional model. Which the reason why we do now, and that's the reason why.
The reason why we use azimuthal equidistant flatter maps in every emergency airline. What's that called? The AI that lands in?
One more time.
What's that? Autopilot. Every autopilot is on our fucking map. So your Mercator is garbage.
Let me explain.
No one on Earth.
Here we go. Blah 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 blah. Here we go. One more time. When you have an emergency situation, let's say I were to lose 2 engines in a 2-engine aircraft, or let's say I were to lose the main engine in like a Cessna. What happens to the electrical system? I lose it. So in order for me to land, I need to use what's called visual flight references. Does that make sense? I might. So when I train for an emergency landing, would I train using a GPS? Would I train using the computer? Or would I train just using a flat map that's on my leg?
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine,
but
that is the reason why.
Answer why that flat Earth map that you guys use has an ice wall.
Because you're spreading out the fucking, it's an illusion. You're spreading out the fucking Antarctica.
You're taking
You're taking Antarctica, you're spreading it around. But here's my problem.
I agree. You change the shape of the whole continent.
No, here's my question.
I agree. And that's the point.
Why does your flat Earth map? Why does your flat Earth map have
Jeremiah,
South America and Africa squished like
Slash
this?
Vineyard and
Why does it have a squish?
Well, why does your Mercator have Africa small? Why does your Mercator have Africa small?
Why does it have a squish?
Why is Africa so small in the Mercator? It's a racist map.
Mercator.
you could elaborate on
Mercator depicts Africa much smaller than it
that.
actually is.
Jeremiah's Grove and slash.
Well, actually, look at the time of when the Mercator map
I wanna
was
look at that.
invented.
Go ahead.
That's not something to laugh at. You guys are going to be embarrassing yourselves. And number two, 99% of all maps are inaccurate. He won't admit that.
No, I agree with you.
You agree?
But the point is, the model.
But
This
I'll
actually
let
makes
you
my
say
point.
that. So
The
anyway,
model that is
Even
described.
mine is inaccurate.
Stop, guys.
But mine is way more than his.
The model.
Way better.
All model. No, I'm sorry. A flat. So you say this is not a flat Earth map. This is the UN map.
That's what autopilot uses. It's so funny.
Going back to what I was saying before. What was I talking about? I got kicked for the first time. I lost my thought.
Yeah, you got nuked.
So when you take the flat Earth map and you look at it, it even squishes the edges like it does there, which would indicate you're looking down on a globe. It was
come on. That was a deflated globe. A deflated globe.
Yeah, but you're the one who's saying it's a deflated globe. Oh yeah, I remember my point.
That's the point. And he won't admit.
There we go.
Wait, you know, Mike Sartain,
You said that
you
your
know
map-
so much of what you're talking about,
your
but you
map-
won't admit what you just said about Antarctica.
Your map-
You know what he said about Antarctica? He said, yeah, it's stretch out. But he won't admit how much larger that autopilot fucking map is with Antarctica. You want to admit how much larger is Antarctica than the autopilot? So how much bigger is Antarctica than the autopilot?
No, we don't fly Antarctica. That's the reason why. We don't fly.
Oh my God!
We don't.
Excuse me. Antarctica, Mike. If Antarctica is distorted, why are you assuming nothing else was?
No, all of it's distorted. But all of it's
That's the
distorted.
point. You distort the maps to make it real, so you can live the fucking
we don't distort the Earth because we need immediate information for VFR. Well, here's the problem.
But you did Antarctica 10 times bigger.
No, it's not 10 times big.
Well, how much? Is it 8? Is it 7?
The coastline is 75,000.
That's the point.
No,
for an
the point is-
emergency landing, you got to distort.
We don't. I'm just saying. Ready?
He lives.
Go name all the times we have emergency landing.
This is the best I've ever done.
No, it's a disaster.
You just said it. The distorts 8 times. How many times? Is it 7 or 8?
No, one more time.
How many times does the autopilot map?
Genesis 12.
The circle around Antarctica is about.
Yeah, it's called the Antarctic Circle.
It's about 24,000 miles.
Yeah, it was called the Antarctic Circle. It's called the 1940s.
It's 24,000, and you can go around it, but it's impossible to go around on a flat Earth map because on a flat Earth map, you take 25,000, you times that,
That's not the question.
and it's 75,000 miles.
The question's not about going around. It's going around. The question, I want to know why you think an airplane autopilot can distort a continent 6-7 times larger, meaning all of them are distorted, and you're saying that's safe land. Are you kidding me?
And you said that your map is not perfect, right?
I said it's 90% better than yours. The land of clean, dirty, and emerging.
Here we go. So now, here's the thing. Let's go back to the original point, which was the flight manual. In the flight manual, it describes a model. In this model, the mass of the airplane does not change. In this model, that we assume symmetry and we assume rigidity.
We're not talking about plane. We're talking about continent.
I'm pointing out the original point. The point is
What a cult.
the point is to create a usable model. And in this case, a usable model, because I don't have electricity and I have to look at a flat map on my leg, I'm going to
But
use
the question
easiest thing is.
the question is not about it being flat. It's about distorting continents 8 times larger. That means every continent. You know how dangerous this sounds to fly?
Yeah, I understand your point. Okay, we don't use a map of the entire planet when we fly locally like that. We don't. It doesn't work like that.
I'm gonna post it on Twitter.
You have regional. So when you fly,
I'm gonna post this on Twitter.
when I fly,
Careful.
When I fly from Warner Robins, Georgia to Augusta, Georgia, and the heading 000, when I do that, when I fly, I have a regional map of that airspace.
Well, we're talking about New York
Okay, New York.
to Germany.
To New York to Germany, you do account for the curvature.
That
Air above
autopilot.
it.
Accounts for curvature. 100% accounts for curvature. In fact, I can show you maps over and over again that account for curvature. I can show you the
I drop all the stats. This is proof. This is proof. You can have a master's degree in psychology and lose a debate if you're not passionate about it. He's an astrophysicist, and we're in here. He's in the.
When did I become an astrophysicist? Like,
What did you say? You're a physicist?
no, I have a minor in astronomy. I'm not an astrophysicist.
Oh, I swear she said astrophysicist earlier, but now it's a minor. Yo, this is an Air Force pilot.
No, I'm a navigator. I'm an Air Force navigator.
This is proof you can fly a plane and think you're on a ball.
I have a question for you. Okay, so how does the flat Earth side of this whole debate, how do they account for like ships using the stars and sextants and everything else to navigate and to get from place to place?
Oh, I get into this one. They believe it's just. They believe,
GPS.
yeah, but they believe the dome is set. Like what? Yeah, they just believe it has a fixed dome.
And it's a fixed dome, right? And roll up, you go there, roll the Star Trails and roll it.
If they paid me enough, I can make the arguments better.
He can make 100. Sartain can make a guy. Sartain can make a bunch of money flat Earth. The problem is, deep down, I don't mean to do this to you. If he came out as a flat earther or geocentrist, he would lose so much fucking credibility in everything he worked hard for. And they wouldn't even let him fly a plane. They'd be like, "What the fuck?" He would never. Deep down, when he said to me, "Zerka, it's the most buried thing in the algorithm. I couldn't find you in Witsit." You know what? That was admission of guilt. He knows it's the most banned. Deep down here,
I agree that it's banned. I just don't agree that.
And would you say, if you were on a lie detector test, could you pass and say you're a glow?
Absolutely, yeah. No,
lights out.
Earthers explain lunar eclipses.
Wait, I was going to answer.
He said he doesn't have an explanation for it. He said earlier.
Rewind the tape. Hold on.
It's called.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. But check this out. Everything here.
Everything is
happened.
Bible, dude.
This should not happen to an educated dude.
I like when it's
no.
It should not be this hard to prove it to go. Could Rollo ever? And here, I didn't want to say it. I want to be a nice guy. I didn't think I'd win this hard. I didn't even prepare. I didn't ask you seen. I didn't prepare. Because the truth defends itself.
You haven't what?
Could Rollo yelling? Hold on. Could Rollo prepare with triangle Earth theory and beat you? He could never beat you.
But you didn't.
He could never. Could anyone here?
Okay, let's go back to the original.
I didn't make any points.
Let's go back to.
Tell them I didn't make any points.
Here's. Let's go back.
Rollo could never defend.
Let's go back.
It's not a cube.
Let's go back to the original Earth. The original point that we made at the very beginning.
He's the last one.
You ready? He's louder than me.
Oh my God! It's huge. You guys 4 versus 1. Man, his body's sick. Play the violin.
His audience, and he's better. Look, he's better looking than me.
Yeah, this is sympathy. This is sympathy.
Look how charismatic he is.
Oh my God!
He hasn't done anything.
One, and I hate them alive.
Ready? Look, you go last, and I'm going to respond.
This was abuse. This was verbal abuse.
What are your followers?
My final words is
You win.
I know that this man. I know
The Earth is an oblate spheroid.
Everyone listening, I know this is an intelligent man, and I know deep down when he goes to bed at night, he knows how much money he would lose if he came out as a crazy flat earther, but he knows my arguments. He knows all my, meaning he's already a flat earther. He's just coping. And you know what's funny? I don't want you to lose money. I want you to just stay there.
Yeah, we got to make money because we're going to Antarctica.
Well, that's the thing.
We're going the galactic.
Rollo.
There's a cheap way to prove that the Earth is up.
On a lie detector, check this out. On a lie detector test, Glenn, Rollo would be a globe guy. He'd be a globetrot, right?
Totally.
No way. You have so much doubt in you about
no doubt whatsoever.
You don't have doubt?
Not slight. Because I flew missions out of.
I'll pay $1,000 for a lie detector tomorrow.
Look, when we do that, please.
Would you do a lie detector?
100%.
So you're going to go on a lie detector and say you're 100% convinced that it won't?
And I'll tell you why. Ready? Here's the reason why. Here's my closing argument. I one time flew from Hickam Air Force Base to Anderson Air Force Base in Guam. And we had to rescue a little girl. She was a baby, and she had some disorder that caused a massive amount of fluid in her stomach. So we had to actually fly at a low altitude because we couldn't change the cabin air pressure. We had to fly like at a regular cabin air pressure. In doing so, I mapped out the fastest way to get there. I looked at it on the globe, and I looked at it on the map, and the Great Circle route absolutely was the fastest way to get there. So I know absolutely, unequivocally, without any doubt whatsoever, that the Earth is round. Yes. I've proved it to myself several times. Okay, now, going back to the last...
I thought we're done. Can I have a cigarette and then do it? What do you have a cigarette
Let me get my closing thoughts here one more time. Just the main things is the flight in the southern hemisphere, there was no answer for that. The way we see the moon from different aspects, there was no answer for that. The way you said that the moon or the light has a finite distance of travel, there was no answer for that. And the main one is the idea, that in the three different points.
Your answer was I don't care.
The three different
All your answers are I don't care.
The three different points in the southern hemisphere.
It
By the way,
was
I did not
about
invoke
God
mass
versus
devil
devil.
during this entire debate.
You answered that. Oh yeah, you said you saved that for the end.
Oh, we can do it.
Now we can do it.
I mean, we can. I just don't care. I mean,
You're on your phone. Pull up one photo of a planet that's real. Let's go.
One more time.
We got all day.
The last one. One more time. From three different points in the southern hemisphere, when I look to the south, I see the same Southern Cross in all 3 points. You did not have an answer for any.
That was your only good one.
No, the flight one was a good one too. You gave up on that.
Yeah, after you admit you have to be a flat earther to even land it.
No, you don't have to be a flat earther.
You said your manual, flight manual.
What I said was, in an emergency landing, we have a map that's on our leg. The map is splashed. We train to land with a map because we lose electricity sometimes. If you lose hydraulics, or if you lose the engine, or if you lose electricity, you have to train for emergency landing.
You're gonna vaccinate me, bro. Wait, can I make one point? Do you disagree that when in the 80s, when they said eggs and bacon have fats in it, they'll make you fat, switch to cereal because Kellogg's bought the science, because 90% of science is fucking bought and paid for, like the vax shit? Are you telling me you guys believe all this science? Or what science is fake?
Wait, ready? So here's what I believe. 100% that was bullshit by lobbyists to try to get us to eat cereal and get us to eat milk. Of course you're.
But they say 90% of science is bullshit. Do you buy into that 90%?
No, I don't. And the reason why, going back to what I said before,
corporations don't rule.
Because but here's the thing: there can be a middle ground. If I go to the CPE building, for those of you at University of Texas at Austin, and I go up there, we shine a laser up to the moon and comes back. That's something I saw for myself. When I was in Johannesburg, I saw the Southern Cross. That's something I saw for myself. These are things I've seen for myself.
Have you seen the curve for yourself?
No, because I haven't been to
They
260.
were covered with eyes in front and in back. Okay, well, I guess that was the end of that. Fantastic. Well,
If you have to make an emergency land.
There we go. Beautiful. Oh, no,
as you guys can see, that is the end of this debate, and I've covered a range of a lot of topics on here. This was actually fantastic to do, but it didn't necessarily cover everything that there is to cover. Now, on this channel, Lord Enzo XXVI, you'll see me do more personal breakdowns. Go check out the suits that I have in the Lover's Gambit collection. And in the BibleWars, it'll be a little bit more controversial topics. In the meantime, stay subscribed, stay tuned, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, and so much more. I will see you guys soon. Peace.